is nothing there. I tried to run it
Yeah.
through another software, but it is saying that it cannot be done. But
Yes.
I added it to the Google Classroom.
Okay.
I don't know if
All
it
right.
will.
Okay. Stay where you are, Ken. Let me just mention or maybe ask you a question. How were you trying to save it? What process that the steps that you use?
Oh, I'll have to go and look at it again, so I don't remember.
Okay. All right. So let me tell you the correct way. All right. No problem. So the correct way to actually save, I'm using the term save, but another thing too, because if you see the term save or save as, actually that's not the right, should I say, option. I don't know why they do it that way. If I was the one to create the software, I would actually change how, the wording or whatever. But they have, all right, they have save, save as. With those two options, when you go to the file menu, those are actually going to save the file as an Audacity file, which is going to be huge, it's going to be big. There's a limitation on the file size that you can upload on Moodle platform. So that's why I also said do a 1 minute, not 10, okay? And also what happened is that they have the import and export option. So here's the deal. The export option is the one you actually use when you're saving a file. Once again, I know there's a problem there with the wording. It is the creator of the software. You can probably write to them and say, hey, can you change this or whatever. But for the time being, that's how it works. Okay. So you can use the export option, and that will give you the option now to save it as an MP3, just like we shared in the last time we were looking at Audacity. So that option should work. All right. So I want you to try that and see how that works for you. All right, Keon?
Yes, sure. Thank you.
Okay, great. And well, I'm mentioning it to the others too, just in case you had a challenge or a similar challenge in that regard. All right. Ooh, it's a lot of hands, and I need to go to the chat. All right. So in this order, we have Joylyn, Kavisha, that's Nicolette, Alexia, and John. Go ahead,
Good
John.
evening, sir.
Yes.
Question: when you are counting the number of words, do you just use the assignment, or do you include like the cover sheet and
Okay.
the table of contents? What do
Okay.
you use
All
for
right.
the words?
All right. It's a good question. I guess you're speaking in relation to the assignment one, right?
Right, yes, sir.
Number one. Okay, great. So yeah, I mean, no, the cover page and the references, no, I leave those out. I mean, in terms of the count, actual count or whatever. So should be all right.
Okay,
Okay, you're
thank you.
welcome. You're welcome.
Um,
Kavisha.
Good evening, sir. The challenge I would help when my classmate is indicating that it's something along that line, that I'm not able to add emails of that domain.
So Kavisha, you're referring to the Google Classroom.
Yes.
Okay.
whose
Yeah. So
is
what happened? All
this?
right. So I have two emails. Well, I have more than two emails. Well, the emails that I would have shared with you is the karen.tuma@ncu.edu.gm and the kntuma@gmail.com. Okay, so what happened is that if you created your Google Classroom using your NCU email, then use my, let me just put that in the chat, or you can just, it's on your course online,
Hello,
okay?
Mata.
Karen.tuman, and it's
What does
it's
that
actually right
mean?
here inside the participants list, okay? So it's there for you.
I don't like
So
how
you
my
can
hair
use the
turned out today. No
karen.tuman@ncu.edu.gm
response.
if you
Okay,
use your
bye.
NCU email to create a Google Classroom. If you use that Gmail,
Hello,
your
guys.
personal Gmail to
We're
use the Google
in
Classroom,
week
then you
2,
can add me
class
using the kntuma
number 1
at
of the
gmail.com.
week.
There are some
Yeah.
idiosyncrasies with how Google do their thing. So that's a part of the issue. So my
How are you
apologies.
guys
Probably should have
doing?
explained all of that before we delve into this, okay? But I appreciate that question. Thank you. All right, so we're moving on to the next one. Um, who's the next
Sir,
one? Yes.
I did try using both your emails. I created it with my MCU and I tried using your MCU email and it's still giving me the same error.
Well, okay, that is strange. I am not sure why that is so
No,
because
I'm
actually it
fine.
should work based on some.
I though
There was an
I do
issue
not
with that,
need
and they
one. Where are
actually
you from?
fixed it or
I'm
resolved
from
it. I'm
Jamaica.
not sure what is happening with that currently. But what I can say to you, if that doesn't work, then
Jamaica land
you would
we
have to use your
love.
personal Gmail then and share it with my personal Gmail because Google, yeah, the way things are set up with that, it works like that. That's how they set it up to work. There's not much control I have over that.
Hi,
But I
Steven.
appreciate you sharing that. I just share those solution with you.
Hello.
Please just try to see what you can do on your side. I'll check back with the team at Eunice to see what's happening with what I was told about, that resolution, and then I can report back to you.
Hello.
All right, so I appreciate
Omar.
that. Let's move on to the next two person. We have Alan and
So
Evans.
we're in
Go ahead,
class
and then I
today.
have to go to the chat.
Guys, I love these hoop earrings so much. What are you working on? So
All right, so
last
Evans, go
night
ahead.
I did a live
Let's hear it.
and I had some
And
assignments
thank you,
due.
Mr. Tuma.
So for
I,
tonight
I,
I
I
am
think
in
my
class.
situation was addressed
We're
in what you stated before.
studying.
Okay,
So I'm
okay.
doing my
So it's
post-grad.
All right, great.
So I am
No problem.
studying at
Appreciate
the
it.
moment.
All right, let me just check
So
the
yeah,
chat here,
that's on the
and
agenda.
we're gonna move forward. All right, so let me go back up, 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 up. All right, unable to sign a register. That's Harriet. Okay, noted,
What
noted.
are
No
you up
problem.
to?
Not sure
So this course
why
is
you would
called
have a
Technology
challenge,
and
though.
Learning.
You probably can tell me the error
So
that you're
I have
facing,
it
and
twice
we can
per
look at
week,
some
Mondays
resolutions.
and
But
Wednesdays,
yeah, noted.
from 5:30 to
Uh,
8:30.
okay.
Tomorrow I have
So
seminar
Elaine is
in
saying I
teaching,
wasn't able to
5:30 to
add you as
8:30.
a student. Use my NCU
So
email. Okay, I
Tues
send the link
so
to
my
you on
Monday
your
to
NCU email.
Thursdays are
Okay.
jam.
All right. Once again, we just mentioned the
Hi,
issues that are going on there, and so I
Pumpkin.
will have to get some
What you do?
assistance from the quote unquote powers that be to see what we can do on that part. Uh, Anne Marie, you're saying I had a challenge
Hi,
using my student
Sharon
email to
Campbell.
add. Okay, hear what
Abdul.
you're saying. So as I
Apablo.
said
Hi.
before, guys, so if it's still giving a challenge with the NCU aspect, then as I said, I did share my personal Gmail with you. You can actually use that. It's not going to work with your NCU email. It has to be personal email to personal email, and well, NCU student email to NCU student email, and faculty email to faculty email. I guess that's how it works now. But once again, I will check with the team
Really?
at Eunice to see if there is something that they could do to resolve that, because based on what I was told, that issue was removed. But I will check back with them to see an update related to that. Major issue, my system, Windows 11, most requirements on the. Okay, let me read that again. So, Sakina, you're saying major challenge is my system. Okay, Windows 11, and the most requirements are on the lower. Oh, so you're saying that okay, you're having some challenges with your operating system. Um, since your email does not allow you to share other than main PC personal email. Okay, all right. Uh, Sakina is saying the Office 365 from NCU does not allow me to download the PowerPoint either. That's kind of crazy. I'm sorry. Well, I'm just speaking from some information that I was given from the team at Unis versus what you're sharing with me. So,
Hi.
once again, I'll check back with them, but you can also
Shadrach.
send an email because they're the one that
Nisha
governs
Bendigo.
the Office
Yubole, are you
365
married?
and so
No,
on and
I'm
so
not
forth
married.
related to
Not yet.
domain issues and all of that. You can also
Never
send them
mind.
an email. Maybe when you send them, they realize it's a real issue. I don't want them to think I'm bothering them too much. I've, trust me, been related to them about a number of things. But yeah, I'll check on that because I know that some time ago they told us that that issue was actually resolved with the Google Classroom and the domain thing. But I
Good.
don't know
It's
why
well
that has
evening for me.
returned.
You see, it's still
But
a
I will
little
check
bit
with them
bright
to
outside.
see
This will get
what is
dark in
what
like next
and if
half
this can
hour.
be removed. If
But
not,
it's
then
6:03 p.m.
we'll see how that
So good
goes.
morning for you where you're
Um,
at, but it's evening for me.
okay. Yes, add a personal email as well. Adding your personal email. All right, yeah, but as I said, guys, there's some things. Yeah, with the Office now, Microsoft Office. So what they told me is that you do have the ability, you have the desktop installed version that you can get as a student. So as I said, if you're not seeing that in the resources section of your ARIN account, then you can also send them an email at techsupport@ncu.edu.gm and request the desktop installation link or the steps to get the software installed, and work with them to be able to see maybe if you have any other idiosyncrasies related to that. They'll be able to guide you through that process, okay? But I was told, as I said, that you do have that option because I also went to them to be able to get the download version of this thing. So um, work with them and see how you can get that resolved for the
Hi.
Microsoft Office
Hi guys,
software
how are
suite.
you? I'm watching you
All
from
right,
Mombasa,
so
Kenya, and you?
yeah, I'm gonna
Hi, I'm
move forward,
from
ladies and gentlemen. I'm gonna
Jamaica.
put again the
So,
class
we
attendance
in the
inside
Caribbean.
the chat here for you, and you can go ahead and sign the register. Those who came out, you can let me know, and I'll make a note of that. Appreciate it. Okay, so yeah, let's just mention something here because
One more minute, Mr. Tomo.
yes, go ahead.
While I did the PowerPoint, I did not put it on the platform. Can I go
Okay.
ahead and do it still?
Yeah,
Because I was busy putting it in the Google Classroom. I didn't remember about that part.
Okay, I appreciate that. All right, so yeah, what I did is, and I'm probably just gonna extend the timeline for you guys. I mean, I do understand. What I did is I have a cutoff date there, which I don't know why the system works this way, but it doesn't show you the cutoff date. Okay, but there's always a cutoff date that I put as a buffer just in case anything can happen. It will flag your work late, but once again, don't worry about that. That's how the system works. Can't change it, but I won't take off any marks for that. Once it's within the threshold of the cutoff time that I set, that's fine. And if you do need more time, that's fine. I can extend the time until
You look smart.
at least
Thank
a
you.
certain
I'm
time
claiming
that I
that
can
energy.
also have the time to be able
I'm
to
a
go through
smart
that.
girl.
So there's a limit, okay? But I'm
Claiming
trying to
that.
work with you as best as possible. I see Juliana, and then we'll move forward. Go ahead with your question or comment.
Yes, I just wanted some clarity on what should have been uploaded in Google Classroom. When you say activity file, do you mean the instruction file or do you mean the actual work that we did? For example,
Question. Yeah, good question. Good question. What did I have written there again? I'll probably have to look at it, but I think it's more the activity file. Because I'm trying to remember if a lot of those files are in PDF format. E- yeah, it would have been activity because the activity would be if I'm giving you something on Word, you're gonna do it in Word and submit it in a Word format. So I think based on what I meant there in terms of
We're not disturbing
interpretation or
you. No, you're
semantics,
not.
it would mean
How
that
is
it's the
Jamaica? What
file
is
that
the
you
time there?
worked on
Jamaica is
completed
well.
that
We
you would
are
have
in
submitted
good
for the
weather right now.
activity.
Not too
So I
much
hope that
rain,
makes
not
a
too
little
much
bit more
sun.
clarity or gives a little bit more
And
clarity
it's
to
6:07
you
p.m.
and
How is it
everyone
where
else.
you're
Okay,
at?
it does. Thank
okay,
you.
great. Yeah, appreciate that. All right, good. So let me check inside the chat here again, and then I'll move forward. Okay, great. Appreciate that, Abigail. And can I redo my podcast? I think you do have the option to do that. When it's a
Holy.
redo, in terms of resubmitting, you can check on the system and see if there's a challenge. Let me know, um, and I'll see what I can do. All right, but you should be able to resubmit or submit multiple files, unless I added a limitation on the number of files, which I don't remember if I did. See, Abigail. Yes, Abigail, go ahead. You have a question?
Sir, I was stating that for the Google Classroom, I uploaded the work I did instead of the instructions. I was wondering if that's okay.
Yeah, that's exactly what we want you to upload. So, as
Oh,
I
okay.
explained, yeah, so it's the work that you would have completed in Word, in PowerPoint, etc. Because it would be in that format, file format, right? That you're basically expecting to have there. It's a variety of different file formats. You have a PowerPoint, you have a Word document, etc. All right, so I think let me see here. Just jumping back inside here. Okay, good.
Thinking back
A minute and
time.
21 seconds. Is that okay in terms of the podcast? once again, as long as you can submit that online, I think, what is the limitation now? I think they'll change it to now because there are some storage
That's the
issues.
name of the
Anyways,
book,
I
The
think you'll see that
Teacher's
information
Repertoire.
like when you're uploading.
Let me double check it
So
and
bear
see.
that in mind. But as long as it doesn't deviate too much from that 1 minute mark, the size of it should be hopefully small enough to be able to submit. So I appreciate that. Good. All right. So what was I saying before?
Sorry, I have a question. Sorry, I'm so
Go
sorry.
ahead. No, go,
It's
go.
a simple question, but it will bring clarity to me in something.
Yeah, sure.
Why do we need the 365 thing on NCU platform? Why do we need it?
Why do you need it? Okay.
No, I think we.
Okay, sorry. I'm trying to evaluate the question, but go ahead and tell me.
Sorry for the even the Office 365, like an Office,
Hi.
the Office
Hello, John
files,
Brown.
like for example Word,
That
Excel,
name is
etc.
Yes,
so
Excel,
chill.
PowerPoint.
I'm from
Yes.
Houston,
Oh, so
Texas.
is it a
Okay.
greater,
How is
newer
it there?
version?
That's
Because, for
actually one
example,
of the
I have
few
like
states in
Microsoft
America that I'd
2007,
actually want to
I have
visit.
Excel on my like
And
computer,
the city as
PPT.
well,
Okay,
Houston,
okay.
Texas.
So this is
So you have an
another
earlier version. You have an earlier
right.
version. Okay. All right. I appreciate that. So once again, if that version has the tools and so on to support what you're
Okay.
doing in the
Oh,
course,
okay.
I'm
All
not going
right.
to
Got
stress
it.
you. Yeah, I'm not going to stress you with that. I'm not making it mandatory, no, that you go and get the office from NCU that is once again offered to you free, complimentary as students. Okay, what I'm saying is that if you don't have the software, well, there's a provision. I'm just saying there's a provision
What
made for
is
you. If
your
you already have the
name?
software, you purchase it and etc. Even if
Miss
it's an earlier
Campbell,
version and it still can
Abby,
support the stuff that you're
Abigail.
doing in the course, great. I'm not going to stress you with that. It's
Hi.
fine. If you don't have the software currently, well, by the way, some people can maybe say, okay, I can borrow my friend computer. He has it, or I can go to the computer lab on the institute campus or whatever. That's fine. There are different options, as I said to you before. Many times, I said to my students, look, I was studying computer science. I never had a computer. How did I survive? Same things I'm telling you. I go to the library, go to the computer lab, I go to the town, whatever. I did what I had to do. I write my code on paper, go to the lab, get it done. But I'm saying
Yes,
if a provision is made, if
Campbell.
they said, oh, we can rent laptops, I would have taken that provision. You get what I'm saying? So
So they're doing a lot of like
just look at it
introductory
that way.
things right now.
It's
So hence
optional,
the ton of
just in
talking.
case you need it. That's pretty much
But
it.
Okay,
hi,
thank you, sir. Sorry,
Sheila,
really not
So how
sure
do
Shyla.
we
because
go about
I
getting?
did make the request and nobody. I did the on the LMS there's an option to ask for NCU to get you because I was having issues with my Word document. I think I mentioned it before in the last
Okay.
class, and nothing happened. I made the request to NCU, but nothing for
Okay.
365 and
You
nothing
learning
happened. They didn't
coding. A
respond or
conference.
anything.
Hi, welcome.
Understand and
My
thank you for
teacher,
pointing it
he's a
out.
computer
But
scientist,
somebody was just
so
asking. I'm
he's
gonna
very
come
tech
back to that.
savvy. So he was using
How do
his
I get it?
example.
So how do you get it, Elaine? All right, let me go back to the previous question, and then I'll come to how do you get it. It's pretty much gonna basically address both. As I was sharing with you, I'll probably just put this in the chat. You can send an email to, and some of you guys probably can help me out here because you probably have gone through maybe the process of using the ARN feature or going to Unis or send an email. Tell us, but let me just in the meantime tech support
I don't have the
on
book,
this
you know,
but
because she said that we have
the
to
link.
buy it and that
So
the
how do you
others are
get it?
very
You can use
expensive.
this
So
link
this is the
or
one she'd
this email, I
recommend.
should say.
The
Sorry, and
teacher's
you can
repertoire.
also,
Yeah, that's the name of
if you
it,
have issues, if you send
my
or
dear.
go through a process before, once again you can check back with this email. However, just in case you're having challenges, you can send an email to the let me see, that's the Unis team. There's the software director. I think his name is Mr. Rodney Forbes. Okay, and he should be able to help you. I think it's Rodney.Forbes. So you can always maybe just copy the director just in case. I don't know. One moment. Let me just grab that email and give you this. So, okay. 1 second, please. Let me grab this email. So this is
What
just in
book?
case,
So
you
I
send it to
cannot
tech
find the
support,
book.
but
There is this
just in
book
case you
that
don't
my
get a
teacher
response,
is
you probably
saying
can
that we
copy
need
this person.
to get for class. Let me type it in the chat. If
He
you
can
have any
help
luck
if he's
finding it
the
online,
head
let
of
me
the
know.
software team. Okay.
Other than that, we have to buy it, and me
Some
not
of
have
you,
money
as I
for
said,
waste
can
on no
share
book
the
right
process
now.
you go through. I just went up to the
Um,
department and say, hey, just, get this thing on my computer. But some of you, if you're able to do that, great. If not,
see if I
send
can
the
find it.
email, or you can use the ARN platform. Is there anyone who has used the ARN platform and it worked for you? Please, can you just
So
say something?
I click on, there's a part that on the top left, I believe there's an option where you request 365 access or something, but
Okay.
like nothing came from it.
Uh-huh.
So I'm
Okay.
probably gonna have to do the email one.
Try PDF,
Okay, great.
try water books
Yeah.
on
So
there.
based on your
I want to
experience,
try
which
it.
earliest, other than from 365, like Office 207, like Microsoft Word 207, do you think, based on assignments that you give, like probably what we have already, do you know what will work based on
Uh,
all the
I'll
different
be
features?
honest with you. It's a good question. I don't remember the features that are in those other
It's a website for
version.
a book.
When I say I don't
So
remember, I shouldn't say that way. I don't
pdfdrive.com,
remember if all of
is that the
these
name? Let me
features
see
that
if I
we
can
have
find
coming.
it.
More than likely, not all of
Tether.
them. But I
Just
know
type in the
like the
website, like
main
name to
ones
me, the
we're
.com part, so
using
make I know exactly what to
would be a
type.
part of that, right? Like
Please
referencing
and
and
thank you.
citing sources and so on that we looked at.
Because WPS didn't have, well,
Hello,
my
Mr.
WPS
Don't
didn't have,
Play.
it was hard to find the insert
Oh, double
citation.
PS. Okay, double
No,
PS
I
is.
have both. I have
Oh, they have
Microsoft Word,
both.
I think
Okay,
it's
okay, okay,
206 or something, and then
okay,
WPS. WPS didn't work. So I had
okay,
to use, I think it's probably 206
Pumpkin,
or 207
you
something.
can't come
So
in a
I'm
second
not
lie
even
down, you
sure,
know?
but
okay,
yeah.
okay, okay. Understand. Yeah, there's a lot of changes that the software goes through. I'm sorry, guys. That's how they do it. Honestly, you see me, I wish I could just buy software and have it for
Mm-hmm.
my entire life. Okay, but the way they do things, they're upgrading everything. They're upgrading operating system, and if you don't get the latest one, you're basically gonna be behind. They do that with all the software, everything. Always the upgrading, and you have to keep up with that. That's that's one of the idiosyncrasies of technology, right? Some of us may not kind of like that. Um, yeah,
Thinking
it
about the
forces you to
time
just get a new
when
version
we
all the time.
alright.
But yeah, it's how it is. I wish I could change it, guys, but I can't. So we just do what we can, as I said. If we have access to it, work with it. If you can get access otherwise, right,
I love
through
this
NCU, it's
pajama
fine.
so much.
So work with
No.
it, do what you can do, and move on from
Weelib.org. I
there.
think I'm aware
All
of
right,
that one. I
don't let
haven't
that
searched for it on there. Let me see if I
stress you
can
too
find
much,
it.
or not at all. Okay, no stresses. Um, all right, so you said that you submitted a ticket as Greaves using the ARN for access that and they activate. Okay, great.
Weelib.org.
I'm sorry. I'm saying great because I just want to
Searching
know
for it
that the
right now.
system they have in
Okay, it's
place and that they
on
told me
the
is how you need to go through this thing actually works.
features.
I don't know if it's a case where they
Where?
may be overwhelmed or whatever, and they're not able to respond to everything at the same. Within a certain
Let me
time
say name.
frame. So once again, you can always follow up, and as I said, just kind of be mindful that they may have a long list of requests because if all 30 something of you in the class requesting it at the same time and they have other requests too, I'm just saying it can be overwhelming. It's a small
I'm not seeing
staff.
that. What I'm
So,
seeing is
but
pure
you can always
romance
follow up, as I
books.
said, you can always follow up with a call to, I don't remember the number off the top of my
I'm
head,
gonna
but
have
I
fun
think I
with
have
this
a
website
number
though, because there are
somewhere
lots
maybe
of books that are on it.
on the main system,
Thank you.
NCU
I might not get the book I
website,
wanted,
or
but I
on the
got
AirIron
some
website itself.
books,
So you can check it out and see
some
if you can make a
spicy books
call,
too.
or you can just call the main line NCU and ask them to put you through to the UNIS department. So you can do the email, follow up with a call. Uh, maybe you do that thing through the AirIron, follow up with an email, etc. Okay, and yeah, sometimes you need that. And who knows? There are times too, you send a legitimate email and it goes to your spam. I'm talking from my own experience actually. So bear those things in mind too. And I guess depending on the email you use to send them that email, that's another thing too. So if you use your personal email, it may a lot of time based on the filters, security and other features that are there, some things may not work the way you think it should work. And it's once again a way to protect email users from different types of security attacks. But that being said, just bear with them and do what you can to follow up and see how that works for you. And let me know when something works. We talk about the issues a lot, but it's good to know the
So account for
solutions,
chests,
and
what
it's
you're
good to
doing for
know
today,
what
what's
works so I
on
can
the
pass it on
agenda,
to others, right?
what's
And they can
popping.
benefit as well. I appreciate that. So I'm going to put again the class attendance register inside the chat, and you can see that
Oh
there.
my gosh, I love me
Right, so
here.
there's
I
a
need to
question
pull
there
out
in
yet.
the chat.
Everybody.
Where exactly on Moodle do we find recording?
Everybody,
Right.
pull out.
So yeah, let me go to the Moodle. Oh, thank you for sharing that, Tasana. That's I guess that's the telephone number for the Unis team, I'm presuming. So you can grab that telephone number there, guys, inside the chat. Thank you for sharing that.
Nothing much,
Appreciate it.
just you're watching.
Um,
Sure.
oh, you were saying,
You got
Bowser,
a
you
sweet
uploaded
mouth
the
like.
instructions, not the work you completed. Is that? No, I wouldn't say
So you're
it's
not do some
punishable
work, and I mean while
for
no
this
work or
practice activity.
something.
No, I am pretty much not
Bonjour.
going to stress you too much with the
Bonjour.
practice activities. You get your grade based on just doing the
Bonjour.
activity, okay? Even if some idiosyncrasies weren't followed, whatever. But I'm gonna be very strict on the project and the assignment, and of course the discussion. But for the practice activity, I'm not gonna stress you. That's like you're dabbling. But we talked about the continuum, so I give you a break for that. You're dabbling. Well, when it comes on to the actual assignment and project
I'm
now, yeah,
gonna check
right on target for that. All right.
to
All
see
right.
like.
So yes, there are grades for the practice activities. You will be assigned those closer to the end. I'm gonna compile all your practice activities, and I'll share. I'll add your grade to my grade sheet for that. But once again, it's participation. You practice. You go through that process. It's also supposed to be helping you, as we talked about the
I'm back again.
continuum
Welcome
in
back,
terms of
Shedrock.
technology use,
This class
dabbling, which is phase
started
one. So for
5:30,
some of you may be dabbling, so
9,
some
you
of you
know,
are saying,
and I was
so what I will
6:21,
do,
and the
actually,
class
let me
itself
mention
not
this.
started. Then
What I
such.
will actually say to you is that, okay, so
No
I may
offense
say
if I
to
get to the
you
nitty
that
gritty of
if you
things,
don't
but
want to do all of the practice activities because you feel like you're at phase four instead of phase one, where you don't really need to dabble in anything or practice anything, that's fine. Let me look at the number of practice activities I have, and then I'll tell you. We can go and look at that on Moodle
we're
now.
cool.
I'll tell you how much I'm going to. Yeah, I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do for you in terms of
Hi.
giving you that option that you can do a certain percentage, and that would be fine too. Okay. All
We're
right.
at
All right.
698
So
subs. We're 2 away
let's
from
move on.
700. Guys, if you're new
Let's
here,
move on. So I'm going to go over to Moodle and I'll show you
subscribe.
some things there.
Give me
Yes,
the sun.
Sakina, there are grades
We're
for the
almost
practice
there.
activity. That's what I'm saying. But I'll show you how I'm going to help you to navigate that space because I know it can be
Do
a
you
lot and
understand English?
overwhelming.
I do. That's
It's designed
my
for you to
first
practice. Once
language.
again, we talk about the different
English.
things and we're applying them.
Yeah.
So the whole idea of dabbling, practicing, seeing how. So if you never used Audacity before,
But no
for
mostly
you this is your
found
dabbling.
it,
You're checking it
not the
out. You're
book,
doing whatever. Cool.
but I found
And then
like
now,
some
for other things that
other
you're going to
books
be
that
doing
I've
for
been
your
meaning to
project, for
read.
your
They're on
assignment,
there as
we
well.
expect that, okay, after
And
you
I'm
dabble a little bit,
excited
you
for
should
that.
gain some
I'm
confidence
excited
and
to read
knowledge,
them,
that you can move
actually.
on now to do the real thing inside your. So practice active is like a mock,
Hi
it's
Jane,
like
I'm
a
doing
way to
okay. How
help
are you
you to
doing?
kind of delve into the use of a particular tool without much challenges. I'm not gonna, or much restrictions, or should I say, limitations or criteria or whatever. You just need to go
It's
through,
a
practice, do
teacher.
something. Good? It's fine. And share what you have done. That's it.
Oh,
All right, let me go to Moodle and
teacher
we'll look
certificate.
at this space. We'll talk about
Let's see if I find it.
take this away, and I
I'm
think I
not
need to
finding it.
close. Give me a moment here. No, I don't need to close that. I'm gonna share that video with you shortly, or maybe
We
not
find
shortly, but
singer's
later.
repertoire, a teacher's guide.
Give me a
It's
second,
not
guys.
there.
Just trying to get my
Channel name
screen
Miss
here now.
Campbell.
Okay, good. So let me share this with you
Yeah, I'm
now.
here.
All right, let me
And
hide this
class
out of the way
itself
so
has
you don't get
begun
a panel. So
finally.
here we are. This is Moodle, and yeah, I think most, if not all, of you should be familiar with Moodle by now. Okay, so this is where you find the live Zoom meeting information, including the recordings, etc. So you can go here to be able to see that. All right. what I wanted to show you now is, okay, let's look at the different activities. Oh, before that, excuse me, I would
Guys,
have published for you.
we're
I'm
2
sorry.
subs away from
I was saying before,
700.
maybe you weren't hearing me too clearly.
Send me the
I was saying before
app.
that you can go to this little section here, the live Zoom meeting link, and you will see the recording as well as the meeting link, etc. there. So what I wanted to do, let me scroll down a little bit here, just looking at the activities. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. One moment. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, 12, 13.
13.
All right, so we have 13. It's a hard decision for me, but let's keep it simple. We have 13. Let's say, all right, if you submit any 10, not gonna stress you with that. So any 10 of your choice. So you have the option of saying, maybe 3 of those activities you may say, I don't want to do that. That's fine. So I'll say if you submit 10 or more, so it has to be a minimum of 10 activities, you get your participation points, right, for those practice activities. So there are 13 currently that are counted. Hopefully, I'm trying to remember if there's any more that I need to upload for you, but I think it should be fine as it is. So 13 is what I counted, but I'm saying to you that you can submit at least 10. Those of you who say, hey, I want to do
You're
all of
lost.
them,
I'm not
that's
lost
fine
time.
too. You can
It's
choose to do
only
that.
right
But I'm
here.
just
So,
saying, no, just in
because
case
guys, I'm in
it may be a
class.
little bit overwhelming and there are others,
See,
other practical activities, and you may say, I don't need to dabble in that already, know how to use it. Fine.
I'm in class.
Then I'll narrow it down to 10 as the minimum amount that you need to do. All right. Okay. So that being said, jump back in the chat here.
1 minute, Mr. Toma. How do you count the 10?
How do I count the 10? It's just any 10 activities. I haven't published the rest for you as yet.
Hi, Sean.
Because as you see, I'm taking it a unit at a time. All right.
Okay. So the question I'm asking, class activity for the PowerPoint practice and the Google Classroom, that's 2.
That's 2. Correct. Yes.
Okay.
If you did both of those, that's 2. All
And
right.
then the other
Okay. And for the previous activity that was there for Unit 1.
The Unit 1 activities would have been Word and what else did I have?
Audacity.
Audacity, yes. Yeah.
I beg your time.
Would have been
Yeah,
So that's
one more
another
time.
one?
What are you saying?
If you
Shut
did
up.
both of those, that would be 4.
Okay, great.
All right. All right.
I'll
So I
take
see
it to the book.
Grayson.
Yeah,
Your
like,
hand is up.
you want my email to
Sir,
send it
I
to my
may have
email?
missed it. Forgive me.
Account
But
purchase?
did you say that there was a final exam for this particular module, or
No,
are
I did
we
not. No, I did not. So
Oh.
okay. So I would say good question, but at the beginning, yeah, I didn't state that. So there
Final
is not. So
exam?
just in case others. So thank you for that question. Just in case there are others who are wondering, the answer is no. There is no final exam.
We're
You
at
do
6.
have though 2
I actually
projects,
shared a link with you.
2 assignments,
Well, I found
2
the
discussion
website and I
forums. Let me
found
just go back up to unit number 1. One moment, please. Okay.
web.
So unit number
No,
1, I would have shared
welib.org. I
here.
found the
So
website,
once
but I'm
again,
not
unit
finding
number 1, I would
the
have shared here
book
with you
that I'm
discussion number
searching
1,
for on
discussion
it.
number
But
2,
I'm saying
assignment
thank
number
you for giving me the website,
project number 1,
because
project
I
number 2.
belong to read some
Alright,
of the
so
books
you see all of those things
that
you can
I'm
get
seeing on
started
here,
and take
but
your
the
time to
other
go through,
apps
etc.
I was
based on
using
different
on other websites, I had to purchase some of them
deadlines,
off, but
etc.
now
that
I'm
are there.
able to just come on here and,
For
yeah,
so
get
I would
them
have
downloaded.
published. Also, you would have
So
seen.
yeah.
I should mention this. There are some resources or
Hi.
handouts that I also want you
How
guys
are
to
you
look
doing
at.
today?
In
Hello,
these,
my
in
South
all the
African
units, you have this.
Ayanda King.
It's going to take
I'm doing
a lot of
well.
time to load. Okay, great.
I'm
So
doing
here
really
you have
well. How are
handouts.
you
You
doing?
also have. Oh, there's a discussion rubric
I'm
as well.
feeling blessed and highly
But you
favored.
also can see here the
And they
ISTE
said that going
standards I shared with
forward,
you in this PDF
we
document,
should,
and also the files I
put
use
something
when I'm
before God that we want
presenting,
him,
or should I
that we
say,
want him
I
to
don't like
bless.
the term presenting,
So I'm
but when we're
feeling
having this
blessed.
discussion on different topics,
My life,
I would have
it's
shared
everything.
those
I
there.
guess
So
YouTube
look
is
at that
censoring the
in
link.
unit
I just shared it.
number.
Continue to October. Really?
Is unit number 2.
I'm not seeing it. Send it to my email. I'm going to share my email in the chat and you send the link to the book there.
Unit number 2, you would have seen it's a lot of stuff. So I published some of
Check
those
the chat
videos,
from
tutorials as
another
well that you
phone.
can see there.
Let me
But
check.
anyways, you have in unit number 2, these are the resources you have. You can take a look at them. Once again, if you're already familiar with this, that's fine. But for example, how do
I'm
you
checking
write
the chat right
objectives in the three
now.
domains? The ABCD
I'm not
format of
seeing it.
objectives
I
belongs to
heard they say
taxonomy.
like it's a teacher's
There's a
repertoire and not
PowerPoint
the,
file or PDF file I
but I'm
used
not
in the
seeing it. Let me look for one
discussion
of
we
my
had.
emails
There is the,
so you
I
can
told you about
send
the
it
Online
to it.
Learning Consortium. We're going to talk some more about them a little bit later. We're touching like distance education and all that. But I put some documents here for you. Look at them. I mean, they may be meaningful. I'm just saying, just in case. All right, so in unit number, so I've published for you a new unit. Okay?
Can you send
This
it to
unit
that
is unit number
email? I just
3.
sent it in the chat a while
Right?
ago.
And so in unit number 3,
Is it, has it
we're going to be
sent?
looking at planning for technology and teaching,
Why is
planning
this
for
thing?
technology use then within the process of teaching and learning. We also have some handouts there on the ICT education policy,
I
planning
even
for
just sent in
technology
my email and
integration.
it's not
The
coming
file I'm
in.
going to share with you
Like
shortly,
why?
the short model, examples and the actual short model plan itself, etc. So take a look
A
at those. They may be
teacher's
useful to you. And
or
once again, also I put them there to guide you. You will also have to do a lesson plan using their shore model or integrating their shore model, which has to do, once again, the focal point in this course is the technology integration. But there's a lot of other stuff we're going to discuss right now that are related to that. We'll see how that works. Once again, we
I'll
have some
look for it
concept lists for
afterwards.
you.
I'm gonna
We'll look
teach
at
something
those a
right
little
now.
bit
Me have to pay.
shortly or later.
Yeah,
So
Mr.
that's Ed
Research
Puzzle
Gate.
and
Alright.
Class Marker. We'll jump into that. I haven't published all the
Me look
units yet,
into
so
it.
yeah. But this, I think,
Hi.
is sufficient for you
Just
currently.
been your room.
Publish all the units as we go along. All right, any questions on that, just in case, before we move forward? I'm going to just stop sharing here and jump into our discussion. All right, great. So let me go ahead. I'm going to stop the share and I'm going to jump into the discussion. What I want to do is, let me get the link. One moment.
Hi.
Let me get the link here.
I'm waiting your my response on what?
Inside, where's this thing? Okay, good. So let's put a link again for
Thank
the attendance
you.
register, just in
It's
case you
cute.
have
It's
enter
rose
the name, just
pink.
in case. Once again,
Thank
if you're already
you.
entered the name for the register, that's fine. If you haven't, go ahead, please. Okay, so let me just share my slide here, and we'll jump into this. Probably should share
We're at
my cursor
mommy.
line first.
We reached 701
One moment.
subs.
Let's share the cursor line first, so we can see what we have planned and
Yeah.
navigate the space. All right, great. So
Thank you.
here we go. So this is week 2, day 1, and we're looking at, right? We're looking at planning for technology integration, really. And so we are going to be discussing also instructional
Hello.
strategies and the Assure model. And then I jump into some demo. We're going to look at a puzzle and H5P and what else? Class marker, etc. All right. Please give me a second. 1 minute, please.
What are you doing? I'm in class at the moment, so he's going to go into the explanation. So I apologize in advance if I'm not as attentive to hear. I'm going to pay attention to what he's saying. So guys, in the meantime, pink curtain, pink, pink, so cute. And I wasn't a girly girl, but pink is so cute. Yeah. So this is like one of my postgrad classes. I have this class every Monday and Wednesday, and then another one Tuesday and Thursdays. So yeah, thank you. You seem to be busy. I am busy. I am. I am busy, darling. I have 1 hour and a minute
Sorry about that.
left on the
Apologies.
laptop.
So,
We have
as I
2
was
hours
saying,
out of
we
class
are
left
going
to
to
go.
look at some of these
Gonna be here for a while. Chat.
tools today. Maybe not all of them, but we'll see what we can get through.
I
And
just see
we'll be able to see how we can utilize those
I just see
in
plug in the
this
back of
space.
me.
So let me stop this sharing and segment into sharing
I
my
wonder I think you did
desktop
plug in
on
already,
this
you
PDF
know.
document. Really? So let me
Your
share that
plug
with you
roti.
at this point. One moment,
Your
please.
comment.
Okay, great.
Your
So
comment.
yes, this is the planning for technology integration discussion that we're gonna have right now. And So
And the next half
we're
hour, make it up
looking
and plug
at,
in.
yes, that focus, the spotlight, etc.
Oh
on
yeah,
the
give me something.
shore
Yeah, give me
model.
something.
We'll get
Please, please.
into that because really we're really looking at integrating once again technology and media tool into this teaching and learning process. Excuse me. One of the things I want to emphasize, even before I jump
Yes,
into it,
I'm in class. We
I
can
know there are
want
different.
some people in.
How should I put it now? Like when you do your online research and stuff, you'll see a short
Some
model.
people get
But I want you to realize that
extension people get
the examples that I give you on the Moodle are what I want you to use. Because in the past, I remember
Hi,
students are like,
Kamar,
okay, I see a
Kumar.
lot of things
Those
there.
eyes are
I mean,
beautiful. They're
some
very
things
big.
there, but other things
Hugs.
missing from what we would have looked at. So please remember to use the information that I'm giving you in these different documents and handouts to guide you, to make sure that what I expect in terms of my expectations, that you will satisfy those based on the model information that we have, or sure model information
Not big.
that we have. Okay, hope that makes sense.
Them
Let's
big.
jump
They
into
can
it
be and cute
right
and big
now.
and beautiful, but they're big.
Let's go to the next
Yeah,
slide
them.
here. Okay, so here we're looking at their short model again, talking about what it is, and in essence, just talk about what the authors are saying here about the model and how it is used. Essentially, as you can see, they're saying that this is a way to plan systematically,
My
right,
mommy
for
went
your
for the
lessons
extension, guys. She's so
and
nice.
basically integrate technology into the classroom.
Thank you.
All right.
No,
So
the
they're
laptop is
just
plugged
saying that
in.
this is that has been studied
That's okay.
in terms of a lot of different research you've gone through to really come up with this model. Okay,
Yeah, sure.
so this is really a kind of tested and proven way to
The
actually
eye and the
integrate
smile.
technology into your classroom and to plan effectively. So it's not just the technology, because if you look at it, so the Assure, as you can see, stands for analyze. Well, I'm gonna tell you the words first, and then we'll go through the idiosyncrasies. So analyze the
I'll be
learners. That's
getting
the
ice
A,
cream.
right?
Thank you for the ice cream.
For the S, the first S, I should say, state standards and objectives, right? Then we have S, the second S, for select strategies, technology, media, and materials. Notice, okay, one moment, I have to emphasize this because I've seen this. I've seen this sometimes, and I really wonder if okay. So notice it
And
didn't
can
just
catch
say
water
state
in them.
strategies, instructional strategies. Remember what the Assure model focuses technology. So if I see you have this thing and you leave this out, I'm not seeing any technology. I'm not seeing any integration here. In my mind, I'm gonna do one thing. Yes, the others, I know you'll have it because usually I see persons will say select strategies. The of the course, you have to ensure that the technology is there, not just stated in the actual model. And should I say, when I say model, in the heading that you're going to have in a plan, because we're going to see it's a plan, but we'll also use this as different headings. When you're putting together that document to share with me, have them as headings. So analyze learners and let me see all the idiosyncrasies related to that under that heading or subheading. Okay. The same thing for this. The heading or subheading should contain the entire, right, the entire elements that we want to see. It's not just the strategies. That is definitely important. I mean, besides in technology, because it's often something that students leave out. I don't
I'm
know why.
seated right now.
Because the
I'm in
information
class.
I share with you, the handles, if you
No
go to Moodle,
standing.
they have it. Technology is right there. But if you go online, you may not see it in a lot of the information that is there. So be careful. All right. All right. So then the next step. These are really steps, right? And actual phases or whatever you want to call it, really. I will delve down into that idiosyncrasy. Okay. The next step is the utilize. So the U in the Assure represent utilizing technology, media, and material. So this is where okay, so I'm going to get down into the details shortly. So let's leave it there because I need to start from the top. And then we have require learner participation, and that's the R in the Assure. And then we have evaluate and revise. So these are the different steps, the different stages right? And in your document, it will be like subheadings or headings or subheadings. You have there speaking to the different aspects of what you're planning. So this is actually for planning, but actually within the plan itself, you're going to talk about all of these things that are important, right? And so we're going to delve down into that and see how we can use this model. All right, so let's talk about what the authors are saying about this model, and then we move on. So they're saying that this model is research based, right? And it involves step by step methods or step by step methods or techniques, etc., that we can use to be able to guide us
Hmm?
to effective planning, right? For
Hmm?
technology integration
Oh, my
and
name check your
technology
bag.
and media, okay? Integration. There's also a will share with you the it's tech, right? International standards,
Someone sleepy.
technology
And the thing is that
education
I have an
organization there. They
assignment
will
where
share
I
with
have to
us the
watch a
NETS
movie.
or National Educational
The
Standards for
movie's name, I have
Students,
it in my notes.
right? National
Kitty, tap your
Education
nice.
and Technology Standards for Teachers. That's
The
NETS
movie's
T
name, got your
or
pink
NETS
phone,
dash
please.
T, and the NETS
The
dash
movie's
S
name is
is the National
Like
Education
Stars
and
on
Technology
Earth. So I have to watch
Standards
that after
for
class,
students.
write my reflection
So they're
on
saying
it,
that
and submit it.
this actually is aligned with the Ashore model, okay? And they're also saying that this alignment also expands or extends to like any kind of standards you have locally at your schools or nationally, maybe the Ministry of Education or whatever. Then you can also incorporate those as well. All right, so it is how should I
Kit,
put it
I
now?
can't even
Yeah,
show
it's a
which packet. Kitty, mommy.
studies have
Football.
actually shown that there's a difference between how boys and girls are, right? So you want to take other variables and other things into
Freezing.
consideration, maybe attitude, as they would mention here, right? Abilities and even the interest, right? Sometimes you're dealing with a
Oh, we're
mixed
back.
multitude,
We're back.
you may be teaching in a multicultural environment or an environment where you just have so many you have so many different things to think about, including maybe persons with disabilities and all of that, maybe
Here is
persons
Kiddo.
not reading at their reading level or etc. So it's something that you have to take in consideration because you want to be able to, and of
You
course can
resemble?
do remedial work if you need to, extra classes, tutorials, and so on and so forth to be able to help those and bring them up to speed. And there are technologies that can help you with that too, so you don't have to burden yourself with trying to help every single individual in terms of their individual kind of a or customized self-paced kind of a learning. Technology tools
Oh,
can
four now,
actually do
mommy.
that for you.
You
We'll
want to
talk some
reach
more about
about
that. We'll touch
5.
on the AI component, emerging technologies, and
20?
all of that. What you're saying also is that
Want to reach about
researchers are
10?
important. Yes, we'll kind of look at some of these before. And
No,
one of
fit
the things that we
tonight.
talked about, yes, the multiple intelligence, Howard Gardner was
I
talking
can't
about
take it.
that. And that is definitely something you want to take in consideration because it does affect, how your learners will learn when you have those things in place that cater to multiple then, right? Learning styles. So it's very important. So your visual learners, your auditory learners, kinesthetic, but also consider other factors. We did look at things like information processing habits, how students may accept information, process it. So once again, going back to the analogy of a computer and how it works with your input, processing, output, right? Remember, students are constantly listening to what you're saying through their ears, input ports, or visualizing, looking at your slides or content. So they're taking in the picture, they're listening to what you're saying. How do they, yes, they're entering that into their brains. How do they process that? Sometimes you can ask them questions because that could help to see how they understand a particular topic or thing. And many times, it will be surprising to you because you may be looking at one perspective and students, yeah, they see your perspective too, but
It's
they can
still.
also see another perspective. And it's amazing. You may be maybe sharing one thing with everybody here, and then if you ask different person may say, "Oh, this is what I get from it," or somebody may, "Oh, I got this from it," right? So how you process that information and make
It
sense of it,
smells like
you understand?
sardine.
We talk about other
Sardine.
factors such as
It smells like
motivations. We look at
sardine.
motivation. We look at the ARCS
Let's
model, for
try same
example, and
time your
how
phone
that
and
can
more.
help with ensuring that you have that level of motivation that
Try
is
to do
high.
it
We
tomorrow.
look at
Okay.
the
Okay,
physiological
Shadrach.
factors and so on as well. Right?
Okay.
So let's
Muhammad.
analyze learners.
Muhammad.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so and of course, did I mention the prior knowledge? Yeah, you definitely need to know what they know in terms of their prior knowledge coming into the course. Okay, there are different methods you can use, whether you use a little test or a quiz to say, okay, guys, I'm gonna just test you to see what your current knowledge is coming into the course. I can know how to kind of shape what I'm gonna do, right? It could just be you have a discussion with them, and you're just hearing what they call in different persons, hear what they're saying, or hear the responses, and you're saying, okay, in your mind, I think I may need to go back here. Yeah. Sometimes too, you can look at their previous course or prerequisite
Are
courses
those
because,
nails pink too?
well, if it's
Yeah,
on the
they
university
are
level, you know they
baby
have
pink
prerequisite courses that
with
you should have
gold
done.
and
Did you do
white.
the prerequisite course or not?
I
Right?
light baby
And so you
pink
can
with gold and
explain to
white.
them why they need this prerequisite and how it may affect them a little bit and do what you can in terms of, once again, assisting the student to work through that process based on the
And
idiosyncrasies
don't
related
laugh.
to their situation. We
It's a
also have the
pink night
stating of
vision.
standards
Yeah,
and
and I
objectives,
wasn't a pink girl, you know.
right? And they're just
Like
saying
even
here
now, I love black. I
that this
love
aspect,
burgundy. I love
yeah, this
gold.
is really
Those are my
describing the
colors.
expected
But pink just
performance, expected
compliment me,
outcome, right? And there are
and
different maybe
I tend to get
standards that
some
you may
pink stuff.
have,
And me look like more
policies
stuff are
and so
pink. My
on
mirror
that
pink, the
are
wall,
used within
my wall
your school.
painting
Maybe
pink.
there are syllabuses that you're used,
You see
syllabuses that you're
the
using
mirror over there,
or content.
a red one and
For
a pink
example,
one.
you could have the CXC syllabus that you're working with, or should I say CSEC or CAPE, or maybe the Cambridge, yeah, etc. version. You may have, if you're doing PEP or whatever, it may be different.
Hi,
The syllabus that
Sunny.
you're using, those would formulate some of the
Maman,
standards and
where you
standardized
from? I'm
content
from
objectives that you have to
Jamaica,
fulfill.
sweetheart. I'm
If
from
you're
Jamaica, the Caribbean, the
some of us,
island,
for example, in our department,
islands in
computer
the
science,
Caribbean.
we have different
Sweet
certifications
Jam Down, the
that our
capital
courses
of the
are aligned
Caribbean.
to,
Don't get it
and
twisted.
these are industry certifications. So those and yeah, these are actually some of the standards that you would be using to be able to
Where are you
ensure that when
from?
the students leave our
Design,
department,
GD,
when they go out
JD,
there
GD,
and they're employed as a web
GDI,
designer or as
design.
a professional or a networking
You guys
professional,
do my
they
class?
already meet those standards because they would have gone through that in the
So
course
cute.
to prepare for the industry specification content. You can use the certificate if you want, but content would have prepared for that.
Hello,
All
David
right, different
from Italia.
standards.
Oh,
And they're
oh
just saying this is a
my
basis for
gosh.
learning
Hopefully, I get to visit there soon.
expectations and
Hi, how you
also
doing?
a basis for the strategies and even the technology that you're going to use, technology media selection. We're going to
Yeah.
look at some selection rubrics, software based, hardware
That's
based.
crazy.
Keep it simple. There are others you can create. We're going
Yep.
to show you the basic concepts
What
related to
can I
that.
say? And I'm
But essentially,
thinking.
that's what they're saying.
Okay, I can purchase.
All right.
I am thinking like,
That this is
what
very
can I
important
do for
because
my
it says when you have clear
February nails?
statements of what
Pink
students will
nail.
know and be able to
I
do,
want to do like a
which
shorter set.
once again we can see a lot of
Pink
this
hair,
coming
no.
out like
My
when we
hair
say
is
to do,
dyed
we're focusing even
burgundy
more on the
orange. That the type of color.
psychomotor, I should say the kinesthetic learner, and maybe even looking at the constructivist kind of worldview, right? To do in the lesson, right? And so it also helps you, they're saying, to make better decision in terms of the strategies you're going to use,
It's a
technology,
short.
and the media
I'm
that
going
you
to
would
show you some
utilize as
options
well.
like what should I
All
do
right.
for my nails in
They're
February.
saying that also this is a basis for
A
assessment
short,
because
cute
essentially,
pink
if
set.
you're
I
gonna be
know
looking at,
February
okay, let's
is like
say how to fry an
Valentine's
egg,
Day,
I'm just being
but
kind of
red. So I'm
arbitrary
gonna
here.
do
We all
red.
love food, so keep it simple. I think eggs are one of the easiest thing to
I
cook.
came to like your
If I
collagen.
could be wrong, but yeah, how to
Yes.
fry an egg. So that's the
Thank
objective,
you.
right? But then form the base because when you evaluate that person, is a cooking class, for example, right? Then you want to see that they're going to fry it a certain way, and then maybe a certain texture, or a certain taste, or whatever you're looking for there. You'll be able to see that. So that's what they're saying. Stating the standards and the learning of to ensure accurate assessment of student learning. And by the way, I should add to what are also,
Hi,
well,
Rasta
even the
Joe.
authors, let me see, they put it
Hello,
there.
hi.
All right, let me just mention what they say and I'll add my own. Explicitly stated student outcomes guide the
It's on
creation of
something
assessments that
simple.
measure, right, the targeted knowledge and skills. So it's not just what they're able to know and understand, but can they apply this thing? Okay. So skills and the rest kind of a way that you ensure that you're assessing kind of a way that you ensure that you're assessing, you're using the correct way then to assess. I shouldn't say the correct way, but the best way to assess the student based on what they're doing in the course, if it's more practical or it's more theory. And by the way, in everything that you're doing, one of the things I learned and I try to do in
Or
all my
this.
courses, no matter how quote unquote
Or this.
theoretical the course is, there's something that you can apply and some way to apply it. So always look for that too, because yes, you're doing the theoretical thing, you have your tests and quizzes and all that kind of stuff, which is great, and even have maybe a theory exam too. But
And
how
come
can
back a
I,
little bit clear on
what
my
can
end.
I
Is it clear on your
create?
end?
What can I do to be able to apply, in a realistic sense, then some of these concepts that maybe in a similar way it
I
would be
probably
applied
do
in
just a
the real
simple
world.
French.
So maybe that's another way I'm saying it. Kind of like real world assessments are
This is
very
so cute.
much
A
something that you
simple
would want to think
short
about,
French.
right? I know in some courses it may be kind of challenging, but trust me, if you really think deeply, there's always a way you can really do something to make it work. All right. I'm saying the right thing here. So the state standard objectives is looking at the stated learning objectives, and this is just looking at the ABC format. I did share with you just now, and you would have seen that. For those of you who are not familiar, okay, some of you may be
Thank
familiar, that's
you.
fine. But if you're
I
not
want
familiar, I
something
would have
short
shared
because
with you a handout on
February
the
onwards is
Moodle
going
kind of
to be
format. I don't
some
remember, I think
practical
it's in unit
months for
number,
me. So I
well,
don't want
in this
anything too
unit,
long. I want
as well
something
as
that
the
we
other unit.
can
But check that out. But
handle them.
essentially, we're looking at certain aspects of the objective, like the audience, the behavior, conditions, the degree, right?
Hi Charles, I'm
So, for
doing
example,
well.
the audience is just specifying
Thank
who the
you.
learners are. And many times you just simply need
Oh,
to
you
state
didn't
in
get
a
to see
document,
them.
for
So I
example,
was
if you're going to
saying
have this
this.
documented
So
as
this is
like for your
one.
project or something.
That's one.
Just simply write, at the end of this lesson,
You see
learners will
one?
be able to. Participants will be able to, and you just stop there. You don't need to like write it multiple
So
times,
that's
really. Just
one.
one time is enough, and that's fine. We address
Then
the learners. Our students will be able to. There we go. There are different terms you can use to refer to the audience, depending on who the audience are, right, or who the audience is.
wait
So
a
let me
second.
go to the behavior now. That's the B in the A B C D format. So the B looks at like an. This is just like an action verb or verbs that you're going to use to describe. What do you want participants to be able to get out of the training at the end of the day? So that verb could be okay. You want them to define
Or
something, categorize something,
I'm trying to
demonstrate
find the
something. And
other
by the way,
words. No, they're not
these terms
coming up.
also, if we look at the three
This but
domains, oh,
shorter.
we're not there yet.
So
But
this would
anyways,
be
we have the
two.
psychomotor, for example. Well, let me start with the cognitive. We have the cognitive, the psychomotor, the affective domain.
Like
And
options for the
essentially,
nails for
you
the
can
month
have
of
different
February.
verbs that you utilize. If you look at the Bloom's taxonomy, it will also give you.
Okay.
I'm sorry. There's
I
also
don't want to do
handles
anything
on that, so you can check it out
almond
on
or
Moodle, and
anything
I
too
could
long
show you that it's
because
there.
February onwards is
And
going to
once
be
again,
very
guys,
practical for
especially
me.
if
We're
you
going
have
to do a
limited
lot of planting
connectivity
and
and
stuff.
internet,
And then you
um,
have this.
power or electricity and internet, then kindly just download whatever you can whenever you can download it, so you have those things offline. But what I'm saying here is that the verbs matter because if you use define that is very different from demonstrate,
Marry me as my
right?
third,
Defining something such as
third
the
wife.
cognitive level. And
With
by
dear,
the way, the Bloom's taxonomy goes through a lot of
I
those
love
different
this.
levels. So take a look at that. I think, yeah, I'll post a handout for you there. I think they're going to also talk a little bit about that in some parts here. But
Yeah, not too tall.
basically, you can use it as
Even
a
this is
guide.
a bit tall,
So you
but like
have
short,
demonstrate. They're saying
French with
terms like
some red
know,
hearts on it.
understand, appreciate are very vague. So
This
not coming
one,
from Mr. Tuma. I just wanted to
I'm
point
gonna
and
save
tell you
this
what
one.
they're saying. But I can see why they say that. Because they say, oh, understand, no. It's just kind of very generic. Um, so you want to get to the point. You should be able to write
You
or
save that
code
one.
or design a website, right? Or cook a meal or fry an egg to be very specific, right? So yeah, I was just saying, just use specific terms. There are terms that are out there that are in the Bloom's taxonomy, but you don't need to stick to only those.
Then I'm
It's just
telling
giving you
the
an
hours.
idea of like how you use
Marriage,
the verbs
fourth,
and
third
what
wife.
each verb
No, I'm nobody's
suggests,
third
right?
option, darling.
So just bear that in mind
I'm
as
numero
here.
one and
And then we
only.
have the conditions. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So the conditions now, um, basically conditions under which the performance is to be assessed, right?
Hello, Tyler.
So you could say, for example, given a list of earthquake occurrences over the past 100 years, the students will generate a line graph. So the
Yes.
condition is given a
Never
list of,
third, fourth,
the earthquake
fifth,
information
second.
there. All
No,
right.
one
And
and
then when we
only.
talk about
Hi.
degree now, okay, the degree aspect speak to the accuracy, the proficiency that you want these students to be able to do this. So, for example, it could be a case that you want them to do even with the research project that they're doing. You could say, okay, ensure that they do this research project, given whatever information, etc., or document, and they should complete this along with their references cited, right? And maybe you could say, okay, with a full grammar, spelling and grammar check with no errors. So that's the degree. No errors should be in your document, right? Or you could say they could define this term with 100% accuracy, or they could fry this egg within, how long does it take to fry an egg? 5 minutes. I'm just saying, 5 minutes, right? So there are different
Sir,
ways in
five
which you
minutes
can.
to fry an egg?
We're not discussing it. Okay, maybe your frying technology is different from mine. All right, let me shut up on that. So, yeah, so we can think about degree in that sense. You could have a time limit, as I said. You could have
I'm hungry.
range of
Your
accuracy. It doesn't
laptop
always have to be a hundred
probably has a
percent. By
pink
the
case.
way,
My laptop has no
um,
case, and
Evans,
my
I see your
laptop
hand.
is
Is
black.
that an old hand or a new hand?
It's a new hand. Can
Okay.
you just it went
You want
just
my laptop
restate
is
what
the
conditions you
Dell
refer to, please? I think I missed that, or
Inspiron 15
I'm not sure if I got it.
3000
Okay.
Intel
Yeah.
Core
So
I. You can get me a pink
conditions.
laptop case for
Um,
it.
Probably just tell you from the other's perspective and give you mine. Conditions they're saying here
Yeah, I don't have any laptop case.
looks
I have my
at the
laptop bag, and
condition.
that is
It's just
black, or
the
carry it in my work
environment,
bag,
the
and that's a black bag
circumstances
too. So.
under which the performance is assessed or is expected, right?
No, I don't give
Um,
out my
they're saying, for
contact
example, it could
information.
include
However,
what
there are
materials or
socials
tools the
that
student will be
you could get
allowed
a pink
or
MacBook
disallowed
Air. You give me MacBook
to
Air money
use, right,
when me
to a
subscribe
particular task. So I could say, given a list, well, I give this example, given a list of
in
earthquake
time.
occurrences over the past
In
100
time.
years, the
But
student
my
will
iPhone is
generate a
rose
line graph. So
gold.
you're going to
So
create,
it's
maybe
like
you
a
could say,
pinkish
oh,
gold.
use Microsoft
Rose gold.
Excel or use whatever other tool to
But
create
MacBook,
a line
pink
graph or
MacBook
a chart,
Air,
right? That's the
my
condition. So
dear.
given or given this information, you're going to use it to do
Hmm.
what I
I
ask
can
you to
give me
do.
MacBook Air now.
Or it could be a case where the facilitator would say,
Hi.
okay, using the
Come on.
internet research. So the condition would be, okay, you're going to use the online
In due time. In
platform,
due time.
right? Google
In
search,
due
whatever,
time.
or they
Wait
may
till
even give you
we
specifics to say,
finish with a
okay,
course here.
using the
Finish with this
NCU
whole degree.
library
God's
website
willing by
and the databases
September,
are there.
October.
Go ahead, use Eric, use Gesture, give
And
me a
even
lot of
before that, monetize and
EBSCO,
everything go well
etc.
on
I
YouTube.
mean,
We are get
so
the
that
MacBook
condition
Air.
may vary. It
I'm not even
depends on
too
what you're asking
care
them to
about
do
brands
and
and
how
names,
you
but
want
we
them
are
to be
get
able
one
to,
car.
you know, go through
Let's
that
start with
process of
philanthropy
doing
work,
a
give back to
task.
students,
All right.
give
So you're
scholarships and support,
stating
and update
that
the devices one by one.
elements in terms of the
So give me a look at
situation that
time.
they will be doing this and what are the different
Yeah,
requirements
can be
then,
my friend here.
right? Or circumstances that they'll be doing this thing on.
Can
Just
be
so you
my
can say,
friend
okay,
here.
it could be a case where you have a open book
Subscribe.
test and you say, okay, given this
Walker from South
information
Africa.
in your
Welcome.
textbook, chapter one, use or read through the chapter one and then attempt these questions.
You can
You know,
subscribe,
etc. So
and
it
we
could be a
so
number
you
of different
can
scenarios and
always
ways that
stay
you can do that. But that's the condition, right?
up to date
Condition
with
under
when
which
I'm going live
the
or whatever. The finger
the
cross.
particular task or particular objective will be
What
carried
will you
out.
do?
Right? Um, okay, so I'm just reiterating. So equipment, tools, aid, or references the learner may or may not use. So you could say, okay, without the aid of, right, the internet, or without the aid of whatever else, whatever other tools you have out there that could aid, or without the use of a calculator if
Ciao.
you're doing math,
Pero todo
right?
si.
Do these calculus,
Um,
the operations, etc.
my teacher's name.
Special environmental conditions. So you could say, oh, if it's a lab, so working in the lab, for those of us probably in the scientific realm, you have some laboratory, some labs you're carrying out experiments.
My
And you could say, okay,
help,
using this lab tool, or
my
it could even be something that I say, okay, using this
help.
software, right, do this. So that's condition
Let me see
under
if I
which you
can.
will get the task done, right? It's very specific. All right, great. So, right, so that's what I mean by the ABCD format.
She
So
sings.
what
Yeah,
are the
I do
things that they're
sing.
also talking about in terms
I
of
thought
that
you
you
guys
could
know.
even
The reason I'm gonna
modify
sing on here again is that
objectives as I
YouTube
said before,
copyright
that
me.
you have existing
Apparently, I
objectives,
sang the song so
right?
good that them
And you can
copyright me, so
add
me have to
the
cut it out of the
ABCD
live,
component and
delete it
stuff
off
like
of my
that. So
channel. Not the live itself,
that's a
but
part of
that
what they're
part of
saying
the
there,
live out because
right? Also, one of the things that they're mentioned is the learning objectives and individual differences. All right, so it's important to adapt learning objectives to the abilities of individual
Nicole
learners,
Mazar.
right? So obviously this will help them to reach their full potential. They're saying, yeah, and
Yeah,
within
your
certain
voice is
classes
very
you'll
good.
have a mixed
Thank you,
multitude. They were just giving the example of maybe let's say one of those
Nicole.
health and physical education class where you
Because
could
I
say,
was
okay,
on a live
run
one
a
of the
100
days,
meters
and one
in
of my
well, some
moderators,
students they were saying
Nathaniel, he
can
said to
be
me
able to
to
run a
sing
100 meters in maybe
1,000 Years by
12 seconds
Christina
or
Perry,
15
and I
seconds.
sang the
Others maybe might be
verse
saying
and the
both could run
song,
it under 10
the
seconds,
verse and the
right?
chorus, and
So
it
it
was
depends
good,
on the different
but
capabilities, so we have to
apparently
make
it
sure that we
sounds too good
take that into consideration. That's what they're saying.
that yeah, yeah.
And part of that too is a minimum approach.
Keep on having
Well,
a
what did I say?
start
Teacher
and
centered or
restart
student
this thing.
centered. That's what I meant to say. Approach, depending on what you're doing, what the objectives are. Right? So you want to um, ensure that you identify those strategies when you consider the objectives. So looking back at the objectives now, and once again, for me, usually I would say it's a mixture because you may have, yes, the little PowerPoint, you go through that, you have some other activities that you give the students a practice, maybe you have a demonstration, maybe you have a video. It's a mixture of different kind of learners that you're
Your
catering to,
voice is
once again,
probably
going back to the
pink.
objectives, but also the
Oh,
approach
pink
you're
voice
taking in
on.
terms of not just primarily a student-centered or only teacher-centered approach, but it's a mixture, I should say, of both elements in some way, shape, or form. All right. But they're saying once again, the focus here should be on the learners. It shouldn't be on you. And what they're saying here,
Have you seen my
right,
conduct?
is
Your
they're
conduct?
saying that first you need to
No, I
consider,
haven't.
first of all, let me just mention this, where student or teacher-centered approaches should be used and where student-centered
Ben
strategy might be better.
Bruno from
And I guess in this
Oweri.
case, you're looking at one either or, okay? The teacher strategy
Welcome.
involve your own teaching activities, right? When you present a concept by showing a video, reading a story, or when you use an interactive whiteboard or you demonstrate something. Once again, this is not just my words, it's from the authors Smaldino, Luther, and Russell. They're saying this, and they're saying that student-centered strategies are more, or should I say, are those that engage students in active learning, right? In active learning, and once again, there are different idiosyncrasies to that, but essentially, you can see even the student-centered approach kind of speaks a lot to even the constructivists and even
My name
the
is
psycho
Shadrach.
the group
Okay.
learning, cooperative learning kind of
Constructively where?
theory, right? And
Yes,
so it
subscribe
depends
to
on
my
what you're
channel.
trying to do. You can see once again one or the other or a combination of both in a specific lesson, right? If you don't have the time, then you just do one thing, and then. But it's always good. I'll be honest with you, to have a mixture. Okay, always good to have a mixture of them. Excuse me.
I mean, I know
And they're
what
saying
a
once again, the
postgraduate
focus is
is,
that
but
learning
what is
should
this lesson
take
all
place.
about? So this
And they're looking
lesson
back at the ARCS
is
model,
about
and
like
this is a
planning for
motivational model
technology. So we're
that we
going to
looked at. We
create
talked about,
a specific lesson plan
and they're still looking at
using
strategies.
a
Remember,
type of
in
model
looking at
called
these
Assure.
strategies, you can
So
use
he's
the
breaking
different
down the expectations and the
approaches like teacher-centered,
requirements and
student-centered,
what
or a
is
mixture. You can
outlined
also
under
use
the
different
Assure model
theories about learning:
for
constructivist, cognitivist, information processing
this type of
habits.
lesson plan.
The social learning theory, the
Matthew, hi,
behaviors, and all of that. Look at all of these different
salute.
elements, and you actually can have different elements in there. So, for
Yeah.
example, if you're thinking about like psychomotor, kinesthetic, those learners who want to do things, that's the constructivist theory, and it's more student centered because you're going to give activities to students to do, create environments, set up everything, the software, the tools, whatever, and say, okay, guys, here are the guidelines, here are the instruction, do this, do that. Um, you can also see, even coming out of even
You
the
speak
behaviorist theory, even
French?
looking at the affective domain,
Barely. I did
that
one
you
semester of
want to
French
see a
in
change, and
university.
the affective domain deals with
That
that.
was
Like,
it.
how is this impacting you? So you go through the process of creating,
Bonjour.
or using Word, for
Comment
example,
ça
to
va? Ça va
do your
bien,
in-text citation and generate
merci.
your reference page, looking at, trying to minimize plagiarism, or just also apply a standard grade. But are you practicing this thing? Or I may have a training on cybersecurity practices, and some of those practices to be more secure.
Still something. I
You
forgot
can
most of the
heavily,
basics. Me.
go through some of those idiosyncrasies related to phishing and all that.
But
But if you don't put that into practice, or you're not,
just one of
practicing
those
that, then
things,
we
I
know that
guess.
something is wrong there in terms of maybe the affective domain that is not really something that you have adopted into your lifestyle, your way of doing things. But they talk about the ARCS model as well, because motivation, when you're planning for your strategies or going through the different strategies, you also want to look at, okay, so how am I going to gain the attention? Maybe I have an attention grabber, maybe an icebreaker, a did you know feature. It could be anything, a joke. Well, be careful with the jokes. That can be a little bit. But anyways, you go through that, grab your attention, make the content relevant, show them how this is meaningful, how it can be applied. And once again, it depends on the age group you're teaching. Um, if it's some, like for example, we did some training with the police officers in Mandeville some
Hi,
time
Gambo.
ago. We wanted to ensure that we make whatever we're training them relevant to them. We would have done all the things that we talked about before in terms of
When are you
prior
getting
to
the
the
news
learning.
done?
They're assessing
Hopefully,
their
I
prior
get them
knowledge and all
done.
these kind of things. Needs assessment, right? So when we jump into it now, we can say, okay, guys, this will help you as officers when
By
you're
next
investigating a
weekend,
crime. You can
so like
use
next
this
week
tool to be
Saturday,
able to do that. It's a cool tool
because
because
I
it does
work
X, Y,
Monday
and
to
Z,
Friday.
and all
So
of that.
next week,
Make it relevant. The different ways you can do that.
Saturday.
That's just one of them. The confidence level, I said before, build that confidence level so that they can see that they can do this thing based on what you have done in terms of the strategies or
Is it
the
a friend over
planning.
there?
They
So
can
it's
actually do this
like
lesson or activity or whatever
for
based on their
to do
own
these nails was
efforts. They don't
5,000
need to quote
Jamaican
unquote
dollars.
cheat
That's
or
like
submit somebody's
30
assignment
something
or
US.
whatever.
Let
They
me check
can
it.
do this, even if you give them a little bit more time. Satisfaction at the end of the day, you want to feel that level of going through this process. It's meaningful. It's a
That's like
meaningful learning experience, and
$32.
that's pretty much what you want to aim for in the end. All right. So that's the strategies. All right. They also talk about the idea of
From South Africa,
even
where you from? I'm
modifying
from
some of these things
Jamaica.
too, in terms of different materials that could be available.
Yeah,
You have the
$31.
chance or the choice to be able to do that.
Same to do the toes as well.
Because sometimes you can find materials that are already available. You don't need to create your own materials. You may also be
Hopefully,
able to check
hopefully I
with
get to
your
visit.
technology or media specialists. In this case, we have a department, distance education. We have some
My eyes are shut
experts there
down.
that can share different things with you
More
related to
sleep.
that, or maybe the library, right? Other teachers may have other resources. It's always good to check around, so you don't have to create your own. But if you are, what they're saying is that there are different ways you can kind of use different rubrics then to be able to make certain decision related to what media or even what materials you're going
Jamaica.
to be working
Jamaica
with.
is
All right.
Jamaica.
So
You
let's suggest,
lots
for
of
example,
subtle
the
drama,
rubrics could entail.
news
So
reports,
once again, let me
sports
just mention,
awards,
they're
and
saying
stuff.
here that selection rubrics basically
Eventful as
provide a systematic
usual.
procedure for
Come
judging the
Jacob
qualities
Papa.
of a specific technology
In Jamaica
and
is
media, right?
okay.
So don't be
It's
afraid to use
good. It's
rubrics. I'm
great.
going to share one with you shortly. But what you're
The
saying
weather
is
is
that
good now.
you can use different
Not too
criteria
hot,
such
not too
as it's
cold.
just a table you create to say, okay,
Yeah.
I have different tools that I can use. Let's say for, I don't know, testing, okay? They have alignment with standards, outcomes, and objectives as one criteria, accurate and current information
But Jamaica is a
that the tool
perfect
has,
place to
age
come visit.
appropriate,
To come
okay,
visit. Come visit
language.
me.
All right, so it could be even a video. So if it's a media that you're looking at, and maybe a YouTube video, does it have certain language in there that are adult and you're teaching, or this is something you're creating for students? Be aware of that. Or in some cases, it may have those content, but it may be blotted out
Hi
or whatever.
Levi,
I mean,
welcome.
in terms of maybe some words are used, then you can
Should I
input that
get a
as
grip of
appropriate
yourself?
depending on your policies and so on.
Okay.
Interest level and engagement, that's another criteria that they say you could use. The technical quality of what you are viewing or using as a technology. The ease of use.
Good to
Is this a
see you.
software that's hard to use? Is it
Good to
difficult?
see
The
you
learning
too.
curve is
Welcome
very
back. Haven't seen you in a
steep.
little while. You've been
And
a bit on and
depending on the age
off,
group and whether they're computer
haven't
science
you?
students who may be more
Where
tech
have you
savvy,
been?
or they are, let's
Chat with
say,
you.
non-computer science students, or they are maybe older
Thank
folks who
you.
may not necessarily. Once
Maloko.
again, we're still looking back at what is said in
You look beautiful again.
analyzing your learner
Thanks.
characteristics and all of that. Maybe they don't have so much interest in using technology. That may be a challenge. You want to make things easier for
No
them
sleep.
and not complicated because they already have that
I'll sit
barrier
down.
with the mindset of I don't really like technology already. Okay, so those are some of the things that they're saying. Oh, bias free, and also I could add they're looking at even user guides. So for example, if you don't know how to use a software and you're dabbling in it, you would want to know that there are some resources you can use, right, to guide you. So existing documentation, user guides, all these kind of things to be able to help you to navigate the use or learning to use that particular tool.
Are you
Besides, you can
married
add other
or
criteria to this.
single?
For example, is the
I
software free,
am dating.
right, or is the tool free? Right? Or you would
I'm in a
have to pay for it.
relationship.
I'm not saying that everything you should
I'm
just
not
go for the free
single.
version,
I'm not
okay?
married as yet.
Actually, many organizations
Okay.
and companies and software today have a what we call a freemium version, trial version, etc. Various ways in which you can get access. Some of them do. What they'll do is to charge your credit card. I don't like doing that. Like they charge your credit card and say, okay, you know what? We're not going to charge you on. I mean,
Yes, are
we're
you?
not going to charge you during the trial
I'm sorry to
period.
leave.
But once that trial period is over, if you haven't, you understand, made a decision, then they will charge your account moving forward. So you have to be careful with
I'm
that.
from Trinidad. I know
Sometimes you may
Levi.
not
I remember.
remember, and
I
then
remember you.
so but
Levi
some
from
do will just
Trinidad.
give you a free version. But
How has it
obviously
been
they're
over
gonna
there
have less
the past
features.
week?
Another thing I would think that is important when you're looking at technology, what are the features, especially software, that it has? Does it have all the features you want to use? And by the way, a lot of times these technology tools have so many features you don't even use half of them. Or I should say, no, I'm telling you the truth. You don't even use like quarter of the features it has. I'm being honest, okay? Um, but yeah, look at the features and see what features are there and the ones that you would need to be able to use the software. Look at whether it's free. Look at whether you also want to look
Yeah,
at maybe the
he
reviews that
is,
are out
and I'm a
there.
lucky girl as well.
Sometimes you have reviews on these software and they will
Just
rate
lucky
it and
people.
they will give different, they will rate it but also give different comments about it. Oh, don't buy this because yes, it looked pretty and whatever in the first, and then afterwards everything crashes or is not working or whatever it is. All right, so
You're both
look at
lucky
those. It could be
people.
hardware too. So they could tell you, oh, this particular tablet or tool that you're using for your, or you want to use for your class, well, it's kind of cheap, but then it falls
How
one
was your
time and
day
it just
today?
mash
My
up.
one was
So
okay.
we don't
My
recommend
day
it.
was very
Look
chill.
at those and they
For
can
the
help you to
next
be
two
guided accordingly.
weeks, we're having
All right.
exams being
So
done.
once again, to talk about the whole
So
modification of
no
existing
classes, just
materials and
exams. So
also
I
the
am
creation of
either
new materials,
invigilating
right?
or
We
I'm
talked about
free.
content
Today
creation
was my
before,
free day.
like creating
Tomorrow I
whatever
have
content. So whether it be
exams
video,
to invigilate for
whether it
like
be,
one
and some of the tools we looked at so far,
exam
Audacity,
lot of
but we're going to
time,
look at video
and then I'm
creation
free
a bit
in the
later,
evening.
like, when
So
we
I
touch on some of
cannot
those
wait.
topics. But essentially, you can also create your own stuff. All right. Yes, there's lots of things that exist on
I
YouTube.
cannot
You
wait.
could also create your own YouTube channel, and then you can create more specific and meaningful, targeted,
Cannot wait.
based once again on your objectives. Looking
I
back
like
at
your
the
colors. Thank you.
state standard objective section,
More
right,
sweet.
to ensure that those are aligned. If you cannot find the existing ones, okay, and actually we can see, we're going to look shortly as how we can even look at a video and kind of modify that, um, on Edpuzzle and some other tools we're going to look at. And so yes, you can find something, modify it, and you can make it available to your students as well. All right, so after seeing the technology, the
It's
media, then you're
2:17
going to
in
work
South
with the
Africa. What
strategies
time
you're
is
going
in
to
Germany? It's
use, the
currently
materials,
7:19 p.m.
okay? Then
That's
materials could
January
mean also
19,
handouts and different things you want to
7:19 p.m.
utilize, right? Some of them I share with you
What
on
about evening?
Moodle.
I'll be free in the evening.
Then we move into the next stage or the next
Yeah.
step. In this step, we're basically, this is where you're planning how we're going to actually go through that process of using the tools, the technology, the media, and the materials, handouts, etc. It could be that you have created or selected or just simply do basically researched and downloaded. But the point is that we have to go through a certain step based on the assured model, I should say. In this segment, utilizing technology and media, we have the five
Yeah,
P
I'm so
or
happy.
P's process.
He's
And it's
really
basically a step by
calendar.
step process that walks you through some of the things that are important as you go through the
You're
process of
killing my heart. Don't say
utilizing
that.
technology,
I'm
right,
not
within the
killing
classroom.
your heart.
So what they're saying here,
It means you only go
right, so I'll
live. Yeah,
just kind of
because when I'm at work,
backtrack
I'm
a
at
little bit. I
work.
think
I
we
can't
got
go live
lost.
while I'm
Yeah.
at work. You get what I'm
So what they're
saying?
saying here,
So when I'm home,
right,
I
the
go live.
first
Or
thing you want
unless
to do
on
is to
weekends, and I'll do
preview the
live like earlier in the
technology,
day,
the media,
and
and
then
the
do a few of them
materials.
at night as well.
All right. So before you utilize
But yeah.
anything in your class, you're gonna preview it. So you go through the process now, right? So actually, this ties in back with the selection process. So during the
Hi,
selection
Bobby
process,
Young.
you identify the technology, media, materials that are appropriate, right? At this stage, you need to preview. So some of this you may be wondering, wait a minute, didn't we just look at selecting? Yeah, but actually they're just saying that this is actually linked with the previous step, okay? And once again, it's not necessarily a sequential set of like steps, or should I say stages. It's
Good
more of an
night.
iterative and kind
It's
of like flexible.
dark
So you could move from
outside.
maybe analyzing to do some
Good
kind of a
night.
selection and even
User
utilization as you go through maybe preparing the
LV
technology, and then you go back and say, wait a minute, I need to change something here.
1WN5WQ7N.
Or, and it depends.
But good
If you have been
morning.
working
It's
with this
morning
tool
where you're at.
before and you know this thing, you
Okay.
may even skip some of these different items, okay? Because you would have previewed and go through a lot of that already. So you just simply jump into preparing the environment. But anyways, let's say you're starting out from scratch, you never used this thing before. That's what they're saying. So this is the ideal situation. So they're saying, hey, you need to actually go through, preview, look at the thing,
With my
and be able to
calmness,
get an understanding of how it works,
I'm pretty chill for
so
real.
you can
I'm not
actually
over the
ensure
top or
that
anything
this
like
thing
that.
is
So I'm just
working.
chill.
There's no broken links in this
Chill,
material
chill,
that I
chill,
prepared
chill,
for you
chill.
or that I downloaded. Because sometimes you have materials and they have links to different sites, and when you click on it, like, oh, this link doesn't work. What's going on? So you can update those things, and that's what we'll talk about the modification and so on. Check those links. Are they still working? That's something you'll find in IT. I'll be honest with you.
No
Many
sleep.
times, an organization update their site and they have a different link to a particular resource or whatever. So you have to keep up with that. Sometimes they'll redirect you, but other times the page will just say this page doesn't exist, and you're like wondering what to do. Many times, so you can actually just do a Google search, just put that link in there, and it will give you the updated one, or just use the other information like the topic or title of that particular material. All right, but essentially, yeah, they're saying that you need to ensure that you go through that process of previewing. So you look at the technology and see what it looks like and the material, see what it looks like, go through
I
the
feel
video,
like flying
okay,
from
watch it
Kenya
from the
to.
start to the end and all that.
Do you make money through this
Then
channel?
you need to go
Not
through that
yet.
process of
Hopefully
preparing the
soon.
technology now.
That's what we're
All right,
hoping
cool.
to
So there's a video
achieve.
you want to show it offline, download it. Looking at the media. All right, cool. Is it a audio thing that you're creating? You want to share it? Do you want to upload it? Like embed some of your video tutorials, for example, in the LMS. You could do it that way too. But prepare that technology, go through that process. If it's something that you need, let's say, to create accounts and all of that for, you want to also ensure that you go through that process of preparing that account or creating those accounts and whatever, set that up, right? Ensure that the materials, everything is where it should be. So if it's something you're publishing on your LMS or you're putting it somewhere for the students to get access on a website and all of that, ensure everything's in place, they have access to it. Um, you may post it, but maybe you didn't click that little button that says share with students or something like that. So this is a part where you go through that process of ensuring the technology is prepared, and you look at any idiosyncrasies relating to that. So they're actually saying, right, the first step is to gather all the equipment you will need. So it could be a case to, where maybe you're doing this in a physical environment. So I'm going to tie in the prepared environment too. So you need a projector, right? Um, you need a computer, maybe you need a clicker to navigate the slide, depending. Okay, so maybe you're doing this presentation in a big place like the gymatorium for a chapel session or whatever. Sometimes you have to also speak with the media team, still talking about preparing the technology and also even preparing the environment. So a lot of times too, if that environment
How
is
old are
not
you?
a
I'm
place where I'm just speaking
23.
from my own perspective, then I'll look at what the authors are saying here. But what I'm saying is preparing the environment sometimes and even the technology, depending on the technology, because sometimes
But I
if
have
you have maybe a
11L
laptop, I know
tomorrow
some
in the
persons
morning, so
have a
I'm going
challenge with
down
that
there
because
for
some
11L.
organizations,
Is it I
they
don't
may
give me
restrict you
11.1 or
with
then give me
certain
11L?
tools.
There's no
So
other
you will
option.
have to go to the IT team and say, hey, I want to use this tool. Can you give me the opportunity or install it for me or whatever? Or give me the administrative privileges to install, use, etc. All right, password, all these different things. Anyways, you can also see where sometimes too, if you're going into an environment, you don't really know what the environment is all about. And once again, different scenarios. Maybe you're invited to do a training somewhere. You can investigate what are we working with. Is it a computer lab environment? Are the seats fixed where I can't rearrange the environment? Because sometimes you may think, okay, based on what I'm going to do here, and based on the number of users, or not users, you know what I'm talking about, focusing on technology software, but this is really learners. Depending on the number of learners, right, that you may have in that environment, you want to say, okay, I have X amount of computers and we will need to use a computer. Maybe it's a workshop on how to upgrade your device or operating system or how to remove viruses. It could be anything,
Hi, I have been
right? Look at
here.
that environment.
Never
Oh,
answered
we're
me.
going to
What
need
did
to
you
plug in.
say,
Do we have a lot of plug
DJM?
outlets? Do we need to
Sorry,
carry our
I'm
request
military in Congo. Oh,
extensions? Do we have
are you
AC?
allowed to use
Because
the phone and stuff
computer
there?
generate heat and
Well,
projector, you're going to use it generate a lot of heat
yeah,
and they
but
need to be
are you
cooled
allowed
to
to use
not
it
burn
now?
up. I'm just being realistic with you. It's just the AC for you, but it's also for those equipment. But yeah, think about example. You requested the computer lab at NCU.
I
and
have no
you
issue
don't
with
know
that
for
as long as
sure
it's a
what is
class
installed
above what
there,
me forget.
you need to once again looking at preparing
Because
the technology and
you're
also
not gonna
preparing the
stress
environment.
me, you know.
You need to talk to the
You're
lab
not put
manager,
me
say,
on class.
hey,
But the auditorium
Mr.
quiet like
Blair,
today
who is the lab
when they
manager,
doing a class.
can I use this particular tool? Want to use the safe exam
Um
browser, or want to
yeah,
use whatever tool? Is it a
them.
tool that you have to download?
When we
First of
come
all,
out
we
of
will
my
ask you,
office,
okay, is
the
this an
school was
online
so
tool?
quiet.
All right. So maybe there are certain
That was
restrictions on
before
the
last
computers
time
to
I
you
came.
maybe even
Okay.
asking, okay,
How are you? I'm doing
do we
great.
have a login, a general
I'm
login,
sleepy.
or do the participants need
I'm
to log in
feeling blessed
themselves,
and
or
highly
can you
favored.
provide
How
kind of
is your
like,
day? My day is
a
going
login for
good.
us to use a
To
guest
be
account
honest,
or
you went
something
to
like
work
that?
today?
And then
I
even with
did.
those guest accounts, they're limited, so
God's
you
willing, I
probably have
have
to tell
work
him exactly
tomorrow
like what
and the
software,
following
what
day
you're going
and
to use,
following
whether
day
you're going
and
to use
following
the
day and
internet and
following
all
day.
that. Excuse me, and have him prepare, go through that process of helping you to prepare that environment to ensure that you have everything in place. There's a virtual environment using a computer, using internet. Sure, okay. Do I have the best internet quality? Guys, sometimes even although not
Where are
all
you
of us, including
from?
myself, have that, I do
Jamaica.
have a backup in terms of my internet. But if
Jamaica,
my light should
and
go,
we
that's
love
a challenge, right? So some person may have
Jamaica.
solar or maybe a backup generator. I'm going into a lot of things that the artist didn't mention, but this is just being real with you. That sometimes you have to think about those other things, right? Um, and so these are important. And once again, preparing the technology,
What
preparing
time is
the
it
environment.
there?
So you look at the internet
7:28
connection, you look at
p.m.
the internet speed, and even some software require certain
Somewhere
speed
off in
in
the
terms of your internet.
river.
I don't remember what it is for Zoom,
Really?
like to be able to
That's
have
lovely.
optimum speed. I think it may be 5
Where?
megabits
Which
per
part of
second or something like
Jamaica
that. So
are they from?
if your speed, like most times when students are using data, that's why you have a lot of lags or maybe a lot of breaking in your network transmission because it may not be enough in terms of the rate, the
She
speed that
is a
you have, and so
YouTuber.
you experience some
Oh,
of those loss.
so you can sing? Yeah, I
But
can
guys, there's a lot
sing
of things,
a
we could
little bit.
discuss this from now until tomorrow, but let's just
Fresh
stop
girl.
there. Then there's the
Hi.
preparing of
I
your
will tell you
learners
our
as well.
story.
So
Okay.
yes, we go through the process of preparing the environment and selecting the different technology. We also want to let your learners know maybe ahead of time, okay guys, you're going to use this tool, you need to download it ahead of time, or you may have them look at maybe a course agenda, a course object, you know what I'm talking about, the course outline or schedule. You may show them different aspects of what you plan to do and just make sure communicate via email, etc. Maybe send some links and stuff to different things you want them to download, or just a reminder, hey guys, go ahead, look at what I've published for you already on modeling preparation for a class tomorrow, etc. All right, so prepare the learners.
Good
This is very
night.
important. They're
Where I'm
saying
at. Good morning. Where you're
because it
at.
helps the students. So basically
Jamaicans, we are
warm
good
up
in music for
to the
real. I'm
tools, ideas
17,
that you
you'll be
have
this
in
year. Happy
mind.
birthday when it comes. I'm
There's something
turning 24
organizations
this
called
year.
change management. So if, for example, you walk into your organization and, okay, guys, we're doing this differently. So you have to use face recognition now to enter the office building. I'm sure you wouldn't, like, just like that, if tomorrow you just say that, you wouldn't feel very comfortable about it. Like, okay, so how did no one tell us or warn us about this? I don't like this idea to use my face and all this kind of thing. A lot of pushbacks or whatever. Um, but the point is that the preparation helps, right, your learners to be able to warm up to the idea. And they're
So,
saying that you could also
my
include
queen,
maybe
can I kiss
even an
your hand?
introduction, giving a broad overview of the
Let me
lesson
kiss it
content.
inside.
Sometimes we may have a preview of what we're going to do next class. Here's a preview of it and the tools we're going to use. They say a rationale for how the content relates to real world
We have it's 7:30. We
applications,
have
not
1 hour to
my
go.
words. No, these are the author's words. So once again, this goes back to the ARCS model and the relevance and all of that,
Thank
and even
you.
motivation.
My partner
So,
gifted me there.
motivating statement that creates a need to know more about what is coming,
Before
right?
you
What we
can
could
down here,
do.
that
Everybody's
you
excited. Okay,
subscribe.
I want to learn this thing. This sounds pretty
Yes.
interesting, pretty
Thank you
relevant.
for
I am
subscribing. I
motivated.
pinned
I'm
it in the
inspired.
comments here. Subscribe
There's
with the
some
pink
maybe some
bow on
challenge
it.
too. I am challenged because this is something I've never done
I
before. It's
think
a
well,
new tool, emerging technology, whatever. But you know what? I'm excited. Cues directing attention to specific aspect of the lesson and so on. So these are the words of the authors,
thank you for
just sharing
subbing.
that information with you.
I'm so
All right.
sleepy.
Um, yeah. So then we have the next P,
You know
and
that I
there
would.
is P in the final step here.
Mommy!
is the
Can I get, will
provide
put
the
me like a piece
learning
of black forest?
experience. And in this
Make a
P, we're
feet no?
really looking at, yeah, this
Me
is
need little
where the
energy. Tell them
rubber
say I
meets
go
the
go for
road, if you want to
cake.
call it that, right? So you're saying that now that you're
Tell Jiffy
ready to
and
do
tell
this
Jiffy and
learning
Timmy say
experience,
ya
you're
go
really looking now at
ya go for one
using,
little piece of cake
utilizing
for
those
me.
strategies,
Bonjour,
right?
ça va bien? Je
Technology,
m'appelle Virginie.
media,
Bonjour,
and materials.
ça va bien? Je m'appelle
So
Abigail
they're just saying
Campbell.
that this often involves, whether it's teacher-centered
Je
or
m'appelle
student-centered, you have your
Miss Campbell.
presentation, demonstration, drill and practice, tutorial, which is more the teacher-centered side of things, right? They also provide some guidelines, I mean, in terms of the presentation, putting that
If you were
together,
a triangle,
planning
you'd
for
be
it,
a cute one.
rehearsing, and so on.
Ha
Some
ha
of
ha,
us
for
may
say that.
be nervous, depending on
That
for a
is so
large
cringe, but it's so
audience, or
cute.
maybe
Thanks.
you're doing this for the first time or whatever. So they also have some tips about that in terms of
That is so
presenting,
cute.
managing your anxiety. That nervousness is normal. You work on
I'm trying
delivery,
not to fall
ensure that
asleep.
you, and depend on once again if you're face to face or online, right? They're just giving you some tips on that to make sure you can
Hi,
feel confident,
Christopher.
to be able to do that eye contact, all these
I'm
different
still
things.
here
Don't use a
listening
lot of
to the
fillers.
background.
I know I'm guilty of that too,
I
like the
have
arms and so on and
57
so forth, right? All
minutes
right,
left.
so yes, that's
Trying to
provide
keep
the
up.
learning experience. You're just going through the process of implementing the strategies. The next thing is, right? Oh, I give you an example, and I'll show you that shortly of the Assure model. But let me just finish the others, and then I'll show you the
So one
example
guy misbehaved now. He
that I
was
have here. Okay.
wounded several
So the
times.
next
So
thing
on the chat
is
said something
require
to the one
learner
guy.
participation.
Yeah,
That's what I have here as the
let's
next
stop the
step.
guy
That's the
again.
R in the Assure.
Okay,
All right. At
DJ.
this point, I'm gonna just
I
stop this to
repeat,
put
I have
again
come
inside the
to like your choice
chat
of
just in
color.
case.
Thank you,
Right.
Shadrach.
I need to take a break from my voice as well. Give me a second. So this is a class attendance. You can enter if you have not yet done so. Give me a second, please.
Why I seem so stressed? I'm just sleepy, to be honest. I'm just sleepy. He's on slide 9 of
All right, thank
12.
you. So as we look at the require learner
Hopefully,
participation
he finishes
segment or
before
phase
the next 55
or
minutes.
section,
He's
they're
talking a lot.
emphasizing a lot of things here. All right, that in terms of at least two aspects. This is where you want to get the practice, right? The learners practicing
Anything
all the
touches the
things,
wall.
right?
We've been
Applying
talking
basically,
for almost 2
right?
hours.
Applying, analyzing,
You have
synthesizing,
anything you
and
want to add?
evaluating
I'm
rather than
trying not
just
to fall asleep
knowing,
on you.
comprehending information. So they want you to basically look at the higher order, right? Kind of levels of the Bloom's taxonomy, etc., to be able to allow students to be
Hi,
able to
Scott.
use their critical thinking skills. They're saying that this follows the constructivist worldview or theory. So once again, this is not my words, but the words of the
So,
authors. But I do see where this makes
I'm
sense
just
in a lot of
sleepy.
cases, right? The
I'm just
practice and
sleepy.
the application of knowledge. They also talk about, of course, they're saying that what this means is that as a the facilitator of the learning, when we go back to the
Yeah,
utilize
just looking
stage there, utilize technology and
lonely.
media, etc., and materials and so on, strategies.
The guy mistake.
What they're saying here is
I'm not
that,
lonely. I'm just sleepy,
yeah,
guys. I'm
apart
very
from this
sleepy.
following the constructivist theory, they're saying that you
I'm
have to
trying to
look
keep
at
up.
building the environment
Hmm?
then, right, and allowing them, because that's what the constructivist theory really talks about, building that, and that's why they have you go through those different 5 Ps. Look at the environment, set up everything is in place, and that, and then allow the learners now to go ahead and practice, apply all the things. Uh, and this says is relevant to authentic experiences where students receive
Have you eaten? I have.
informative
It.
feedback, right? Um, and this is also aligned. They're
From
mentioning
which
with the what we
country?
call the National
Jamaica. I'm
Educational
trying not to fall asleep.
Technology Standards for Students
I'm
that
so sleepy.
the would have published and would have shared that with
I'm
you
so sleepy
on
now.
the Moodle platform as well. So take a look at that. But essentially, yeah, it's technology using that as a productivity tool,
Trying
communication
to
tool.
stay
There are
away.
many different ways that you can use it. This is not an exhaustive list. Problem solving, decision making, etc. And they're just emphasizing also that there's a lot of different
So we are just
technology
friends.
software
Okay.
that are out there, or educational
Friends
software
isn't too
that are
bad.
out there that can be utilized. All right. Um, some of these, maybe even games too, right? When we think about gamification, the concept of gamification, we see that in a lot of the test tools like Kahoot, quizzes, which is now
You're
Wayground, and
8 years
others.
already? I want to look
They're
at this
adopting
step.
that
Nobody
method,
open
and there are
mine.
other technology tools that are
Nobody
out there,
open mine.
excuse
Oh
me,
my
that
gosh.
emphasizes
I have
gamification,
a small
making
slice of
it
black
more
forest cake.
kind of competitive.
I'm gonna
Sometimes
try
you
and
can
eat it to
gain
keep
the
away.
interest or more inspiration and motivation than from your students. All right, and so that's a part of what they're saying here. It will add to their intrigue, and there's a lot of things that you can incorporate there. So once again,
I love
this
black
is
forest
just
too.
the required learner participation. Over
I'm
on the
not a
other side with
cheesecake
feedback,
person.
they're saying looking at ensuring that you give feedback regarding the correctness of
This
what you're
tastes
doing
nice.
and whether they're on the right track, etc. This will be helpful, all right? And you can
You know
also
me
do
as
it
your
in different
friend?
ways. It could be a self-check way of doing it. There's the peer review or kind of peer evaluation, and there's a teacher evaluation. It could be a combination of all of these, all right? So, oh, this is just the example I showed you, Charlie. All right, so that's pretty much what they're saying there.
Me eat
And
a
they
bone slice
require
already.
um, learner participation. Let's move to the evaluate and revise section quickly. And see if we can wrap this up because my time is gone. So in this segment or phase, all right, we're looking at assessing the learner
From
achievement,
Kenya,
evaluating
I
and
already have one.
revising
That's
the
okay.
strategies, technology, and media. Right? So once again, you're looking at using authentic assessment and rubrics. Could be portfolios,
Miss Cherry.
projects, and then of course again look at traditional way of doing things versus the electronic or more modern way of doing things.
I'm like a shy
And in
person.
this course, I think yeah, we're
Depends on the
pretty much going to be
situation.
doing everything electronic. Not you didn't even realize that. Well, it's an online course, so there we go. So let's talk about evaluation and revision of the strategies, technology, and media. They're saying that we need to evaluate, right, our teaching, looking at if self-evaluation, student evaluation, peer, even administrate at the administrative level too. This is a part of what is important. So
All the part
notice
is
this
sweet.
strategy, called your shore model,
Miss
doesn't
Cherry.
just end with the lesson. This is pretty cool. It goes through different strategies that you're going to put together ahead of time as to how you're going to go about this evaluation of yourself, the assessment of the learners, etc. All right. So this is I like this approach. Okay. All right. So these are some of the
It
concepts that we would
was
have
black
looked at.
forest cake.
I just ask briefly. Try to keep it simple, just so you can share what you would have. Yeah, this is your time to talk, right? I'm sorry. I think I've spent the rest of the time just talking, so give you a chance. So, what are the primary types of criteria used to analyze learners? You can just give me one, anybody. Just looking back at what we would have discussed in this session, right? Can somebody share with us what are the primary types? So you could just give me one, as I said, or ways of analyzing learners. Looking back at the A aspect of your short model or the A stage. Yes, I see. Foster, yes, go ahead.
Yes, I remember we should determine their prior knowledge. So that is very important before you begin to teach anything new, their prior knowledge. Thank you.
Okay, wonderful. I appreciate you sharing that. Absolutely. I see Alexia as well. Go ahead, please.
Good evening. General characteristics, gender, ethnicity, age,
Yeah.
We have one more
attitude,
slice.
ability.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely. Yeah, those things are important. All right, thank you for sharing that. I see Grace and Evans, and then I'll move on to the next question. Yes, go ahead.
Well, I'd say the specific learner, looking at you mentioned about Howard Gardner and different multiple intelligences, and perhaps their preference in terms of learning style.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's definitely important. Thank you for sharing that. All right. I saw one more hand, but I don't know. That hand went down. Check and see. And then segue to the next question, number two. Learner's level ability. Okay. All right. So yeah, thank you for sharing that. All right. So let's see. I'm gonna share with you the information so you can take some time to kind of look back at that and go through. I do also have some examples I'm going to share after this, okay? Let's just get through this quickly. All right,
Hi.
so what are the learning objectives, or why are the learning objectives important? Why is it an important aspect then in the lesson planning? This is a question that's been asked here as we would have looked at. Why is the learning objectives, as we would have looked at the second
Mm.
stage of stating standards and objectives, why is this important and why? So I say, Nadine, yes, go ahead, please.
So this is important because you have to and the learning
It's
styles and how they learn.
7:43.
All right,
Are you hearing me?
Yeah.
yes, loud and
Okay.
clear. Absolutely. Appreciate that. Yeah. All right, so I'll move on to number three. So, what are the four components of a well written objective? What are the four components of a well written objective? Yes, Greaves, I see you. Go ahead.
You like football because I'm not Cristiano Ronaldo, but we can get me.
Um,
Ha
I remember
ha
two.
ha
It
ha
should have
ha.
a
So
behavior
funny.
and condition.
uh-huh. Wonderful. Let
So
somebody
funny.
else give me the others. Thank you for sharing that. I'm sorry. I see the hands up.
Audience and degree.
Uh-huh. Audience and degree. All right. Well, all right.
So
Go ahead.
funny.
Foster, I see your hand. Or I see.
Oh, I was going to say audience and degree as well. Thank
Okay,
you.
wonderful. So you remembered audience, right, for A or the ABCD format, right? So audience, somebody already said behavior, condition, and degrees. I appreciate that. So list for, or should I say, list and describe the procedures for selecting, modifying. Let me move this out of the way. Modifying. So selecting, modifying, and designing um, strategies, technology, and media. All right. Just give me one. Okay, one thing that is important in doing that for that step, which is to select strategies, technology, media, materials. Give me one thing that is important there. Let me go to the chat and see. Where's okay, you were saying the audience behavior condition. All right, thank you, Anne Marie. All right. All right, so I see Simone. Yes, go ahead, Simone. Number four.
It should result in student learning.
Okay, so yeah, they were mentioning that as something that is important. Looking at the use of technology. That is not just
Okay, you
okay,
can go
just
and
arbitrarily
cook.
using some technology because you think it's really cool,
You can go and
or you
cook.
like that technology tool. But yeah, it should result in student learning because the emphasis is on catering to the student needs. So I appreciate that. I see Foster as well, and then I go to the chat.
Thank you. And also, you need to consider ARC's model of motivation, where we take into consideration the attention, relevant. It must be relevant. It must
Okay.
You like
Okay.
traveling? I love the
Yeah.
idea. Have
Uh
you
huh.
ever
yeah,
traveled before?
confidence and satisfaction. ARC's
Absolutely.
model of motivation.
Absolutely. I see Keon. Thank you for sharing that. I see Keon, so I'm gonna go to Keon and then I go to the chat. Yes.
We need to also determine whether or not our lesson will be focusing on the teacher or on the student. So if it's teacher centered or student centered.
Okay, wonderful. I appreciate that. And let me see what's happening in the
Yes,
chat and
I've
then
been
I'll move
reading
on.
everything.
Let me
How's
see
your
here.
weekend? How was your weekend? My weekend
Okay.
was
Okay. Teacher centered versus student centered. You're
filled
saying
with
Nadine and
chores,
Amory. Okay, appreciate that. I think I see one more.
but it was
One
good. I
more
slaughtered some
teacher
chickens
centered,
as
student
well.
centered rubric. Aha, the rubric point of view. So yes, we did talk about utilizing rubric, especially for the technology and the media that you're going to use that are existing out there, and you're trying to make sure. So, if for example you say, okay, I need to choose between maybe two testing tool, right? You have a rubric because you want to make sure that you within certain guideline and standards that you have at your school or institution, etc. And also, you want to make sure that you choose the best option based on, once again, your objectives and goal for the training and even the level of your audience and all that. Because some tools may be more complex and others may be easier. A whole heap of different things. We're going to share those rubric with you after this. All right. So, Ken, I see your hand again. Is that an old hand or is it a new hand?
It's an old hand.
Okay, just checking. All right, I'm gonna move on now, guys. I'm sorry, based on time. So the next one is, what are the five basic steps for utilizing technology, media, and materials? Just give me those five P's, or I'll ask one person to give me, or each person to give me one. Okay, what? Give me one of the P's. So I see Abigail, I see Nicolette, I see Simone. In that order.
Stop the noise. Stop the noise.
Oh, I'm sorry. I think somebody's mic is open there. Yeah, but go ahead. Abigail, then Nicolette, Simone, Blessing, Anne Marie. How many persons we have so far? And yeah, okay, go ahead in that order quickly, please.
Okay, sir. So it's the 5P process, and the first of the five is to preview the technology. So you're looking at the
Absolutely.
media and the materials as well.
Absolutely. Thank you for sharing that. Let's move on to the next P. That's Nicolette.
Prepare the technology and
You
the
have game
media.
parks in Jamaica.
Please
We do.
take it by surprise when you're doing the lecture on productive learning experience.
We do.
All
We
right.
have game
Prepare the
parks.
technology.
Hey,
Absolutely. Appreciate it.
come
So let me
to
move on now to
say
who's
resemble
this
my
person there?
sister.
And
I'm
that's
not
Eva.
happy.
Simone.
Weren't you happy?
Yeah, so prepare the environment. That would be the conditions under which you'll be using the technology, media, and materials.
All right, absolutely. Yes, I appreciate that. And then who is an expert? Blessing, that's you? Yes.
Learners. Learners path must be prepared. We need to know who they are, as then in terms of their ages, if we are dealing with those in primary school or secondary school, we prepare their minds on as to what they are going to learn.
All right, thank you for sharing that. Appreciate it. So also have Anne Marie Walker. Anne Marie?
Sir, provide the learning experience.
Okay, okay, wonderful. I appreciate that. Provide the learning experience. Let me just check in the chat and then move on to number six. Um, oh, there's a lot. Provide learning experience. Prepare the learners. Prepare the
Oh, there's
environment.
716.
Yes, I appreciate that. Elizabeth, Oshin, Amik. Yes, and
I
also
see
yes.
we're four
Prepare the
short from
learners.
reaching
Julian is saying.
720, guys.
Prepare the technology.
720
Elaine
subs.
is
If you're
saying.
here, you haven't
Dejeuner.
sub,
Prepare the environment.
subscribe. What
So
are you
all of
doing?
these are
What
important.
are you doing?
And
Why
once
not?
again,
Why wouldn't
guys,
you?
I guarantee you, if you try this, I know it may seem like, oh man, that's a lot of stuff. Like seriously, that's a lot of work. Like
It's
really,
a lot for you.
it is. I'm being honest with you because on a practical sense, sometimes you don't really have the time to go through all of this for every single lesson. I'm just being real, okay? But once again, this is not my word. These are just the scholars that study this thing. Let's talk about some of the methods now for student participation. Just give me one, and that's it. And we finish. Number six, one way to get the student participation as we look at require student participation. That step. All right, I look in the chat because I think there's some persons putting some things here. Oh, that was a 5E. Okay, yeah. All right, so anybody for number six, or should I call in some persons?
Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
Foster here.
Yes, appreciate it. Go ahead.
So say for instance, like
Do you?
in a practical, like you speak about
Visionary
home economics, friend and
Kingston.
egg, but I love to talk about agriculture practical. So
Okay.
we can give them practice in growing some lettuce to see
Uh-huh.
how well they can dig and plow, seed bed preparation, seedling, transplanting, fertilizer application, and all of that. So you would want to see them demonstrating their
Yes.
practical skills.
Absolutely. I appreciate that so much. I can feel the passion, I tell you, that you have for your area there in agriculture. I wish I could do a lot of things. I tell you, just trying to plant, a simple tree. But anyways, we're not discussing my little uh, experiments there. What's the next thing? Let me just go to the chat to see if You
That
guys are
cake give me a
responding about
boost of
like
energy. I
communication
have
tools. When
30
you were
minutes
saying,
left of class.
and
Let's
there's
see if I
also the
can last for
feedback
the 30
aspect as
minutes.
well, right? Sorry, I had to say that based on the ages of time, but we'll just move on. So the practice
I'm
and the
so
feedback.
sleepy. I
So
know
what
I
are actual elements that are important? Yes, there's a motivation too, because you want to think about motivating students in a lot of things that they're doing, because some persons may not be motivated. I'll be honest with you. There are classes that I've attended as a student that
Why
I'm
does
really not interested or
so the
motivated about it.
grill?
We're just doing it because of requirement. But you can
Can I
find
join
a
you
way
on live
as
for
a teacher
five
to show the
minutes,
passion
please? I
and
don't
all
think
of
I've
these kind
been
of things.
able for
Sometimes
other persons to
they're
join me.
motivated by the passion you
Probably
have,
further
okay?
down, and
And they
when
want to
I'm
see, okay, how
comfortable
to
with
do
people
certain things. They're
joining me, I
curious
will
about it.
do it so.
Let's now look at
But
number
for
7.
now,
So number 7,
I kind of
in what
disabled that feature because the
ways
internet
are the
can be
techniques for
weird.
evaluating student achievement and multimedia
Can
strategies
be
and
very
instruction
weird.
similar or different? Talk to us. Well, first of all, what are some of those tools? What are some of those tools that we can use to evaluate? How do we evaluate? Assess. Let's use another term. Assessments. Talk to me quickly. Just give me one.
Word. Okay, it's better. Yeah, so
What are
further
some of the
down, I
assessments?
will be more
All right.
comfortable
So let
in
me look
doing
inside the
so,
chat. In the meantime, portfolio, rubric. Wonderful.
but not right now. It's too new
And
for
those are
me.
very different, right? Some are more authentic. So if you give a test, for example, it's more looking at maybe the cognitive focusing. Yes, there's critical thinking, but it's not focusing more on maybe the hands-on, the realistic, the authentic kind of a way you engage in that particular thing, right? So in some cases, yes, there are similarities because a lot of these different well, they should be aligned to the objectives. Okay, that should be one similarity, right? We could look at the fact that also these assessments, yes,
Can
should be
you
based
read
on
my
what
name, please? I would like to hear you reading it.
you've actually gone through. You don't want to assess them on
Through
something that you didn't teach
Tengro
or actually go through in the
Risangor.
course, etc. So
You're
there are
just
some
like my
similarities, there are
sister.
some differences. All right, guys. So I
Where
hope
the
this was
friends are what?
meaningful to you based on what we
How are
looked
you?
at today.
Vivian, I'm doing. How are you doing?
I was going to say PowerPoint, but it's a PDF file. Take a look at the PDF file. It's on the Moodle platform for you. I'm going to show you briefly. Let me stop the share. Some of the handouts that are there.
Wait.
I'm not going to go through them. You can read through them in your own time. Just showing you what is there, like to be able to for you to be able to go through, and then I'll move on from there.
Okay,
Let me just share my screen here. One
that's
moment.
the best I could give
And then
for
I
your
jumped into
name.
some
Sorry.
demonstration, by the
I
way.
know I
So
butchered it, but I'm
I'm going
sorry.
to share it this way so I can kind of move back and forth. All right, so I'm hiding this thing here. Okay, so guys, look at this now. We have examples of, or what we call the rubrics, like software rubric. Okay, you can look at this. There's some information that may be useful. Some of the things I was sharing with you, and even some of the references they have here that you can look at and so on and be guided accordingly. So these are just some of the criteria that you
Hi,
can use if you
Turks and
want.
guys. If you're new
You can look
here,
at these
you haven't
rubrics, look at
subscribed,
other things. There's
what are you doing?
usability.
I'm
This is
4 away from
interesting,
720 subs.
right? Usability, and this is
Subscribe.
something that you also need to look at because if a product isn't has usability issues, then that can be a problem, right? You could, as I said, if it's online, you could look at things like bandwidth and different requirements. If it's something you need to install, what are the software requirements? Do I have enough random access memory and all of that?
You
Actually, I
single?
also have
No, I'm not
illustrated
single.
hardware
Lots
rubric,
of love
and then I
from
jump
Zim.
into, wait, I think somebody's
Sending you
mic
love,
is
my
open. One moment.
Zimbabwean, my
Next,
Zimbabwean
you had a
people.
question?
Oh, yeah, sorry, I didn't realize I had put my
Okay.
mic on.
All right.
Sorry about that. But I
Okay.
do have a question.
Yeah, go ahead with your
It's
question.
about, okay, so the preview, the technology, media, and materials.
Mhm.
Listen, I think maybe I'm just a bit out of my depth, please.
Yeah, so
Okay, we
once again,
just,
I have shared some information with you, so you can take some
yes,
time to go through it in your own time, and you'll be able to
yes,
see and understand a little bit deeper. Okay.
yes. Can
All
you
right.
just distinguish between the technology and media? When you say
Yeah.
prepare technology,
So
prepare
okay. So I'll
media.
give you. Yeah. The authors are looking at media in terms of different type of content. So whether this is audio content or text-based content that you're providing for your student, because I've embedded videos for you on all of that, right? etc. So that's what I mean by media. Technology, in this case, you're looking at software, hardware. And so I'm also
Why aren't
showing
you
you
not
some of the things
reading
I've
the
uploaded
comments though?
for
I'm
you
in
already.
class.
Like these rubrics, you
That's
can go
why.
through them in your own time, look at them, make informed decisions about, okay, whether, how you can create your own rubrics. And there are many others outside, online that you can check out as well. All right. All right, great. So this is another rubric, guys. Just looking at, once
You're
again, hardware.
married.
So if you're gonna buy a device or invest
I'm
in a
in a
device you're using,
relationship.
or if, for example, you say, okay, I want to use the computer lab to do a particular thing. What are the CPU requirements? For that particular software to be installed. Anyways, yeah, I was gonna say something else, but I'll leave it there. But you need to look at that, because if the software requires more RAM than you have, or that they have at the lab facility that you're using or you're given to use, that is going to be a challenge. So you have to look at these different things, right? Different devices, peripheral devices like input, output, and all that. You can see, and you can add more things to this list as you need to. But those are just some of the rubrics that are all there. There's also their short model, right? Oh wait,
Hey,
I wanted to ungroup this
he's
thing.
great.
Okay,
Buying
there's also
Scarfield for
the
me. I
a
know he's
short
your neighbor.
model, so
But
you can
Scarfield,
go
I'm my
through this in
neighbor.
your
How
own
my name know
time.
that?
This
Hey,
template is
Anthony.
provided for you, so you can go through it, right? And once again, just ensure you follow this information. There's also this is an example showing you how a particular teacher would have used their short model. So it starts out with telling you, the analyzing learners, and how this particular person, in this case, is Mr. What's his name? Akumu or something like that. I don't know if I pronounce it right. All right, so go through that process, look at the example, and be guided accordingly. All right, so
It's a
guys, that's
lie.
it. I'm gonna
How
go
are
ahead
you?
once
I'm
again.
doing
These are
okay. I'm
already
feeling
published
blessed.
for you on Moodle. Look at
Which
them,
country are you
download
from?
them,
I'm
go
from
through them
Jamaica.
in your own time.
To
I'm gonna
Anthony,
stop the share.
Baba,
I'm gonna put again inside the chat for
subscribe
you the
if you haven't already.
attendance for those who haven't
We're
signed.
at
Okay, for
7:16,
those who
guys. We're
have,
so close to
wonderful,
reaching
great. I appreciate
7:20.
that.
And the
But for
live
the
ends
others
in
who
like
have not
5
yet
minutes.
signed, I yeah, I would
Hi.
like you to sign this. So please, or just enter your name there. Okay, so let me jump into. We're gonna look at which one first. One moment. Let me see.
Like,
Excuse me,
seriously?
sir.
Yeah.
Just double checking to ensure I sent you a message on behalf of a student. Just checking to make sure you saw it.
Okay, okay. So, all
A
right.
direct message.
Okay, one moment. Oh,
Thank you.
okay.
I am
Yeah,
pretty
I
tired
appreciate
too.
that. Sorry, I didn't see it, but thank you for sharing that. All right, noted. Duly noted. So let me jump
I'm
into
from
this memo because I
Jamaica.
want to share with you the different tools that we talked about. Let me just do a quick check here because I think I was signed in, but I
You
think
finished
by
that
now it
one
would
day?
probably sign me out. So let me just do a quick
Me
check
ain't
on
still
that
get 500 or
code,
something.
and
Me
then
still get
I
500 or
will
something.
do what I need to do to get in here, and then move
Oh
forward.
my gosh.
Actually, okay, did sign me out? Yes, sir.
Mm.
All right, I think I'm still in. Good. So, actually wanted to do this one first. Let me check
Mm-hmm.
to see. One moment. And puzzle, are you still there? Am I still logged in? Yeah. Okay, I'm still logged in. Okay, so I'm gonna do Ed puzzle first, and then I'll jump to the class
Mm.
marker. Let me share my screen with you, and then I'll go through this thing. Let's see. Am I just gonna close? Yeah, I'm gonna close some things here. Yeah, I think I need to do. One moment. This is asking me to update something.
Mm-hmm.
All right, there we go.
Hi.
Give me a
Really?
second. All
Hopefully
right,
get to
good.
visit
So let me share
here
my
in the
screen now so you
summer.
can see. So we're
Hi,
talking about Ed
Samuel.
puzzle first, and then we
Um,
talk about class mark, okay? All right. Okay. Oops. We're also gonna look at Google Forms. So let me hide these controls. I don't want to show you that yet. We're starting with Ed puzzle. So Ed puzzle is pretty much a tool that you can use to engage students with videos.
send
Okay,
me a
this
WhatsApp
is pretty cool
number. I don't
because
send
you
out my
can
WhatsApp number
actually
on this thing.
ensure that they watch a video. So just in case you have a video and you want to ensure that they watch it, and it's not just about ensuring that they watch it. Maybe there are some concepts in that video that you want them to get. You can make your question as challenging or difficult as possible, you choose. But the fact is, you have the ability to do that. So all you need to do is to go to Edpuzzle.
Yeah.
Well, what I did was to sign in.
So,
I'll
but
show
my
you actually.
socials are in
Let
my
me just put this in
description.
the
So
chat.
my Instagram,
So you
my
can just go to
TikTok, you
Edpuzzle.
can subscribe on here as
You
well,
can just go to
and we can reach out
Edpuzzle.
via
Here we
there
go. I'll put the link
when I
inside
see the
there.
message.
And you can look at the different options. If you go to sign up, I want to hide this again so I can. If you go to sign up for
Sleep
free, which
again.
is this option, or just sign up over here. If you already have an account, you can just log in. If you go to sign up, whichever way you do it, then they're gonna ask you, okay, are you a teacher or are you a student? If you are a student, then
Hi.
you, I
It's
mean,
in my
for
description.
purposes
So check my
where your
description.
teacher
So
will
when you
say,
go to
hey,
subscribe, you click subscribe, you
doing
check
this
my
thing on
description
Edpuzzle,
and
go
you
ahead,
see
sign up.
my TikTok
Those
and my
students will sign
Instagram
up
there.
as well. And if you are a teacher and you want to go and create some content here, or edit some content, I should say, then you can go ahead and select I'm a teacher. Alright? After you do that, you
So
have
sweet.
different options. You can sign up with Edpuzzle or log in with an existing account. You choose. Okay? So if
28
I go
minutes to
here,
go.
well, I'm already logged in, I
Then I
should say.
can sleep.
I
No,
logged
me
in
have
with
one
my SU,
assignment. Then me
okay,
can sleep.
account. So here I am,
I'm so
my Google
sleepy though.
account, which is current2@ntc.com.
That's it.
So
Bye.
this is the platform that you have. There are different ways in which you can look at different content by subject, grade levels, type, etc., duration, all different kind of thing. Here you can see your content, your school information, etc. Here you can create your classes. Did I create this class already?
28 minutes
Anyways,
to
I'm
go.
gonna probably go through that process again, if anything, to show you. But here you can create your classes, and you can also search, right, via YouTube, etc., to look for different videos. All right, so let me just go through the process here. If I add a new class, I click on add a new class. And by the way, guys, they basically integrated all of these different elements.
Hello.
Once again, this is pretty cool.
Hi.
Check it out in your own time and do the practice. Right? I'm not going to go through those integration right now, but you can check it out in your own time. Create a class, add a name. So let's add a name here. I have it already. Hopefully, you can. I don't enter the same name. Um, let me just say one moment. I think I'll just put module 3. All right, here we go. Let me see. Description is optional, so I'll leave that out. Grade level. Okay, what's my grade level? I'll just put, could be higher education. Just keep it simple. Computer science. What else is there? I don't remember all the. Okay, there's technology. I'm gonna say technology. Wait, is there education here? Did I miss that? Um, well, I'll just put, yeah, technology. Keep it simple. And the type, you can choose any term. I'm just going to click on
No
create
problem. I'm
class here,
tired. So tomorrow.
and
Tomorrow,
it will
if you
create my class.
subscribe
I can
before you
invite
leave,
students. If
and
there are
then
assignments, then they will see here. Some of them may have due dates, some of them may not have due dates. You can see those that are completed, I should say. There's a grade book. These are the class members. So, for example, if I click on invite, you have the different options. I can copy the code, I can copy the link, I can email the link. All right, let's copy a code. All right, or maybe I should copy the link. All right, let's copy the link. All right, and I'll just probably put that back in the chat here. So you can see there's a link. Go ahead, check that out if you want to. You don't need to do it, but I'm just showing you how it works, okay? All right, so the next thing I want to do, I'm gonna look at the content here. So go back to my content. Okay, so I don't think I want to use any of those content. Let me just see. I'm gonna let me go back to home here by clicking on a puzzle, and I'm gonna click on YouTube. I want to find something on AI, so I'm gonna click on this option here. I could just type it really, introduction to AI, and see what results I get.
yeah, I'm going to be
Sometimes
on
you'll notice
tomorrow.
that
So
some
I'm
of
on
these have already been
every
created or edited, I should say,
God's
by
willing,
different
or so far
persons. You can see that
every
information
at
here. It
least
contains more
five
questions, so you can
times per
use or
week.
reuse some of the content that are in this
So
platform.
we
Okay,
definitely
already been. That's great. Or you can edit your own. Right, so I see this one, which is very short, 1 minute and 58 seconds. This is actually like a course, I think, but I'm just gonna click on it just to show you how this thing works. So I'm gonna click on this content, And then going to bring me to this page where I can preview, remember we talked about it, preview the content. I've already kind of looked at some of this, not probably all of it, but yeah. You can go ahead and play this and kind of preview.
Code.org has how AI works in video series, where each video teaches about particular topics.
All right, there we go. All right, so and of course you can change the speed of this and all of that, volume and so on and so on. But let's click on edit because I haven't done anything to assign it yet. So I'm gonna click on edit because I want to add some things to it. All right, the voiceover feature. Let me go to that first. They're saying that sorry, this is blocked because they have to comply with certain requirements and all of that kind of stuff. If you upload your own video, you can actually do the voiceover, but otherwise, no. So you can also change, or should I say, um, decrease the size of this video if you want to, right, by using the cut feature. Okay, so yeah, by using the cut feature. So you can cut out some of that if you want to at the beginning, introduction, whatever, and the last part if you want to. You have that option. I'm just gonna undo that or just reset. You could use that option. Going to the question section now. Right, this is where you can embed your question. So usually you want to kind of see the different areas in which you're going to embed. So you can play that video to a certain point. All right. Well, okay. So I could add a question, a simple question here. Once again, your question could be more complicated based on content and the objectives. So, and here, by the way, you can choose whether multiple choice, open question, notes, etc. So here I can add a question, multiple choice. I can say, okay, what is the organization, right? Or maybe what organization, right? What organization does the author or this is the author, right? Works for. So what organization does the author works for, right? Okay, so I'm just gonna put in some random thing here. I'm just gonna put in Google, and you can select the right answer. I think that's how it works. So I'm gonna select here code.org. I'm gonna check this as the right answer by clicking on the check mark there. And you could add more choices if you want. I'm just gonna keep it simple. Right, I can just save this. And once I save this, I can see that there's a question here. So as when you play the video, right? Okay, so I'm gonna play the video. Right, it will stop, answer the question over on this side, and you can go ahead and select, right, and then you can go ahead and continue. Select the right answer, and then you continue. All right. So what I want to do, let's click on continue and stop. I'm just gonna yeah. So what I want to do now is I'm gonna click on the option for finish and then I'll go back and see if I can do this side by side. So I'm gonna click on finish.
Tonight, we left from 387 and we jumped gas to
So there
116.
it is, and I can go ahead now and assign this to a class. So I can click on the assign option, right? And here we have a bunch of things like title and all of that. You can change if you want to. The start date, whether you want to have a due date, you choose. Once again, based on your objective, etc. So you can assign to different classes. I can assign to this one, right? And then I can select the next. Right. Choose how many tries. So depending on the objective, is something like a practice test or quiz or whatever, just content that they need to review. You could give them multiple, unlimited, whatever you want to do there. There's an option to prevent them from skipping, so they must answer the question. Can they speed up
Over my
videos if they
channel
want
too.
to? Some people like to, and depending on the length of the video, so you can choose that. I'm not going to change anything here. Accessibility features as well. You can turn on or off those features.
They know
Depending
some
on,
if I
once
put
again,
up
you
one next
know your
poster and
learners, you
say
know if some of them may need this kind of thing, so you can go look into that. So
thank
click on
you
assign.
for 700.
Right. You have once again the option to invite the students. Once you invite them, they will do the quizzes, and you'll be able to see that information on your side. Okay. So I can go back here to puzzle. Right. Here you have your content again. You have your classes. I think this is the last class. Yeah. Good. That I created. Right. No, that's not the one. Wait a minute. How does it store this thing? Okay. This is the last class. Sorry. That I created. So here once again you'll be able to see. Right. Um, what does that mean? So you can look at the different ones that are completed, the class members, if persons are added, etc., and the grade book and all of that. All right. So yeah, that's pretty much that. So I'm going to stop the share. I'm going to head over to class Marco. All right, one moment, and we'll delve down into that. Give me a second to okay, clear my screen here. All right, so for class Marco, just copy the link
And so
first
one
before I
can,
jump
me
into
feel
that.
it too.
One second. I hope it
Me
didn't log me
feel
out
it
either. Let me
too.
check first. Okay. All right. So for class Marco, all right, I've just put that there for you. There we go. Class Marco. You can
You have
click
a
on that
nice
link.
sound. Thank you.
Let me see. Did it log me out? Yes or no? I think it didn't. So hopefully it
Mm?
works. If not, I'll have to start over again. But let me go ahead and share
It's
my screen. Then we
occurring.
jump into that. All right, so this is classmarker.com, and this is another tool you can actually utilize. Very powerful tool. Let me just hide this thing here. Again, go to hide. Okay, great. A very powerful tool for testing and quizzes. When you're getting started, you'll be at this page. You'll come to this page, and once again, you have different information like you can click on try for free or log in if you already have an account. You can take a tour, look at the different pricing, feel free to ask, contact us, and all that information. Down here, they show you different companies and so on that
We're
are
at
working with them,
717.
and different
Yeah.
information
I
that could
thought
be
we were
useful
stuck at
for you to make an
716, you know, because
informed
lots of
decision
new people were
about
on. I
maybe
mean, I
some
said
of the
normally
features
they
that I have. For
subscribe and
example, you're
could.
looking at tab security detection,
Morning,
mouse boundary restriction,
Ezram.
camera monitoring, face detection, and so on and so forth. So look at those features,
Mm?
make an informed decision. Look at the different pricing that they have. I'm not going to look at that at this point, and see what works for you. They do have a free option, and they also have a what we call it now a trial version, as we said before, right? That you can enter. So once you click on sign up, it will take you here. Once again, you have some choices that I give you. Okay, are you registering to take a test? Like if you're a student, like if I create a test and I ask you to the test, then you could register as a student or to take the test. Okay. Are you registering to create tests? So notice there are two options there. Give me one moment. Notice there are two options there. One for business and non-profit.
28 minutes.
Once again, make an informed decision based on whether your
Yes,
organization
Marcy.
is business, for profit, or non-profit. Here we go. Click on register. Once we do that, oh, it's the same one. Sorry, let's repeat it. Once we do that, oh no, it's verify now. It will take you to this sign up page, right? And now you can enter, well, they're saying here you can start your 30-day non-profit trial, which is pretty cool. Go ahead, you can register. I've already done that process. Okay, they have Alaska here. I want to change that. Um, yeah. So after that now, then you can log in. So I logged in already with my account, and so this is where you'll see the main dashboard, right? You have tests, you have groups, you can see that there. What you can do if you click on the create option here, which I already did, this will take you to this page. I already created that, but yeah, you can
And
also delete
my
it.
hair.
There we
Oh,
go.
this is my own hair.
All
This
right,
is
so
my
you have the
locks. I
option
have
to delete. Let's
locks.
give me a
See, coming
warning.
from my root.
I understand
I
I
have
cannot retrieve the
locks.
data, all this kind of thing, and you just simply click on delete. But this is a page that will fails. Okay, that's fine. I hope it didn't sign me out. But let me click on create again. I wanted to open this in a new tab so I can keep the, yes, it did. So give me a moment, one second. I was wondering, 1 second. Let me do a quick
Lightning.
thing here. I'm gonna
Yeah, me
stop
have
the share,
15 minutes left.
and I need to just log in. Give
Me
me a moment
realize
to do that process.
I can't
And if I
let
get back.
you go.
All right, so let's see.
Okay.
Okay, sorry, too many accounts. So sometimes you
Nice.
run into that problem, right? Or maybe it's
Hi,
just
Bryant.
myself alone.
Greetings from Kenya.
Let me just log in
Welcome.
and see if I can get back there. There. Okay,
Aramazis.
great. So let me reshare with you
Yeah,
at this
butcher your
time
name. Welcome.
um, my screen so we can get into that. Okay, so this once again is the main screen that you'll see. I'm gonna hide these things here. Once again, you can click on create. I'm going to open this in a new tab. I think maybe I should backtrack a little bit to close some of these because we already looked at that. So I have more space to do my, okay, great. So I'm going to just open this new tab so I can keep the previous page here. All right, cool. So
Okay.
it's asking you now after clicking on create because you want to create a test. What do you want to do? Do you want to, by the way, so you have the option, I guess every tool, because I have seen how these tools have evolved. They didn't have this survey before, they didn't have the AI component, but they have integrated it because every other tool has it. So now they have an option. Do you want to create a survey or do you just want to do a test? Well, test. There we go. So you click on that, it asks you, okay, what is the name of the test? Okay, no problem. You can let's just make up
Ayana.
something
You
and
see me
we
saying
can
there's
sort of
something weird
make
now,
this something
sweetie.
else.
Mm-hmm.
Let's leave the category as default and click on create test.
Mm-hmm.
My internet, oops, good. All right, so there is
And
a
then
problem
finish it, eh?
here with my internet.
Me done
Let's see
mine.
here. One moment. Just check to see if it will. Okay, good. Ooh, yeah, here we go. Things can go wrong in a live situation. Internet just. All right, so we have the name, of course, of the test. Now we need to add some
Yes.
questions. So you have the option here. Notice it's as easy as 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's go to the add a question.
I
All
mean,
right, and then
you
afterwards,
say?
I'm going to go top here. We have add new questions. Here we go. Okay, click on add new question. You can also, if you have
Hi.
existing questions, you can actually use those or even import questions. I'm going to go to the add new questions. Here you have the option for different types of questions. Excuse me, multiple choice, true or false, matching, etc. I'm just going to keep it simple, working with a multiple choice. That's the default option that is there. So, just going to ask a simple question, okay? What is, no, which of the following? Okay.
Hmm?
Which of the following,
Hi, Peter. It's a pumpkin.
right, is a software,
2 hours down.
for example? Okay. Oh, constant sign.
Crazy
All
for
right,
why?
so these are the answers. And just select A as a correct answer. Let's check that box. Set as correct answer. I will say, okay, I'm going to say the correct answer for this now. I'll just give, let's just say Kahoot. All right. And then the rest, maybe add another
Dance.
question here, just three
Have a
keys.
mirror.
I'm just going to add a RAM here, and then I'll just say CPU. All right, so there's
Hmm?
some additional information that you can give here, right? And these are optional in terms of feedback. The correct answer, you can say, okay, hey, congratulations, you got this right. Or, oh, try, or you didn't get this right. Sorry, the answer is wrong. You can choose whatever points level. You can add that too. If you want more points than one, you can add it there. Do you want to randomize the answers? I will choose yes because you want to put whatever tools they give you that can help you to reduce, I guess, cheating and all of that. Sure. The thing now with like radio buttons and checkboxes, the difference really is that, for example, if I give you a checkbox, usually it implies one option only. Sometimes you have multiple choices where you have multiple answers, and you can use like checkboxes. But in this case, radio button, keep it simple, right? You can save and add more if you want to add more, or you can just click on save. So I'm just going to click on save, right? I don't want to add any more question. I'm going to click over here on exit test editor, right? And now you have the option now. I just have one
Hello,
question here, but
Lindsay.
you can add
Well,
multiple
I forgot the
questions.
people there, but
Of
you
course, you
start
can
watching me.
delete this if you want to duplicate it, print and all that. Now we have the option to assign tests. All right, guys. So there's some things that you have to upgrade to. Once again, this is just how it works. You're using the free version. If you have the paid version, great, you have other options. But for now, I don't have this option. As you can see, all right, I cannot save or preview test results given in links for free. So this is one of the limitation, right? But I do give you the option to do the thing, but you just can't save results. With this one now, the group option, right? You can send to a group, right? If you click on the send to a group, click on that. This is just one option, okay? Send to a group. As look at this, so you can create different groups. I have a number of groups there. You can create different groups. If the group that you want is not there, you can go ahead and actually do that. Click on create new group. You have the group.
Hey,
Let's
you
give
are
it a
pretty.
simple
Thank
name.
you, Lindsay. I'm
So
assuming you follow this
2027,
picture as
and
well.
this is module 326, and I can create the group. Then it's gonna ask you now. You can add members. So you have the option to add members. So you can go ahead, add members. You can register them now or do self-registration. Let me click on the self-registration option. So even for this, you have two options. The thing is with the self-registration, okay, let me just show you what they have there. So basically, they're
8
gonna allow
minutes
you to
left.
go to this link as a student with a self-registration and you get access. So what happened now, you can create different codes. So I give you the codes here. So create X amount of registration codes for this group, right? You could use this method if you want to, um, and you go ahead, create that, and you can send that to your students, all right? Now, the approach I normally like to use, especially within classes, is this one where I register them, the students myself. What it will do is, let me just walk you through here. So they give you the
You say
instructions,
you're
by the way. So you're
basic.
gonna add new
You say
members
you're
details, select
lazy.
the emails, and
Not
then
smile in the
they will,
stage.
each member will specific login
In the
information to be
mountain.
able to log into their account, and you will also get a copy of their password and username just in case there's any issue. So you basically enter, notice the format that they give you, how you should enter it with name, like first name, comma, last name, comma, email. And you can choose the option once again, whether it's last name first, depending on the content.
Good
Like for your
night.
content, in terms of
Malocos.
participants list from the ARAN system, it usually gives last name first. So usually I just choose this because then you're gonna have to change the order and all that. It's just easier to work with. So you just use the last name here, you enter the details here, right? They even tell you. So this is what I like. They give you a lot of tips and a lot of guide as you go through this process. You can't miss it, right? They tell you even here the maximum users at a time is 50. Once again, it's a free account. I think for the other accounts you can have more.
Yeah.
Um, all
Pink,
right, so
pink,
you
pink,
can
pink,
go
pink,
ahead
pink,
and enter
pink.
that. Then what you can do too, you have the option to send login details to new members now, right? If you want to. So you have that option here. Check that. Well, actually, it didn't say no. This just says
You
send
want to
login
sleep? I
details
want to
to
sleep for
new
real.
members.
I
But
have
what I
an
normally
assignment
do,
after
guys,
this, so I'm
you
supposed to
can
watch a
actually
movie,
schedule
but I'm going to
this.
trick
So
myself
you
to think
schedule
that,
it.
oh,
So
it's
let's
just
say you
me
have a
watching a
test
movie, and
for
that is not an
the
actual
20,
assignment.
okay, maybe the
Watching
22nd
assignment,
or
I give
something.
the reflection
And you
art.
say, okay, I want this to go to the class by
So
this time,
I'm going to rest my
5,
eyes
what
for
time?
some
Maybe 6
minutes,
p.m. or
and then
something
I
like that.
start the assignment.
You can do that. Then it asks you to enter your account information. I'm not going to do that now. And then once you do that, it
And
will register the students and it will
then
generate for you on this page the passwords and all of that, username, password, and so on. Right? I'm going to share documents with you to help guide you with the different options so you can look out for that. This is a method I
how
normally
much me there?
use with my
18?
students in my class, but
Girl,
I'm
you know,
just
let me
going to
stuck
use
at
it for
16.
this purpose. If you want to, and you actually get
Yay!
you get the access to the 20, what is it, 30-day
You're
trial
not
version,
waking back.
or should I say
Me I
trial
go waking in
period
Jesus' name.
to
May I
use the
take one
software,
30-minute
maybe
nap
giving
or
you more
something?
features and so on. Then you can use the link version because
Set
that's
it
the
time. I
easiest
me
one.
just
You just
watch
simply
you
upload
know,
a
a
link
fun
and
video.
that's it. Click on the link and
Come
go through that
normally go
process.
bed
Or
like 11
you could
o'clock
also do
either
the
way.
self-registration. So you make that
So watch
informed
one fun
decision
video till
as
9
to which of
o'clock.
these you
The video
use.
them say like
I
2
want to
hours,
show
something, something,
you
something, something, something.
before we go. I know the
What is
time
it
is short
about?
today.
The
I'm
name of the
sorry, going
movie
over
is
time.
called
I want to
The
show
What?
you Google Forms in
See me
terms of
can
how you
find it.
can use it to actually create tests and even add-ons that you can utilize
Like
there.
Stars on
I'll also
Earth.
touch on, and these
So
are all
that's the name
upload
of
for
the
you so you
movie.
can see them in your own
Like
time. There's
Stars
the
on Earth. I don't know what
H5P,
it's
and
about. If
there's
it's for an
also
assignment, I should
the
watch it,
Kahoot.
then write a
So I'll show you, have
300
some guidelines to
word
show you pretty much
reflection
how you
minimum.
can utilize those tools and
So
pretty
yeah.
much how they work.
But guys,
Let me
if you're
jump
new
into
here, we're
oh wait,
almost
I'm
at
trying to figure out where I have
7:20.
this
Let us reach 7:20 before we
this
come
test I want to
off.
share with you. Okay.
Subscribers,
No,
so
I think
subscribe if you haven't.
excuse me. What's the next account? Give me a moment. I'm just gonna close some of these things I have open to kind of clear. Yeah, good. All right.
Oh
So
my
I'm gonna just
soul.
share my screen here, showing you Google Forms first of all. Oh, but I don't have the quill go here.
Hi.
Anyways, I'll share it afterwards. This is Google Form. Let me see. There's a template. Yes, good. So you can actually use Google Forms for sectional test, and yes, not just in class, but also this is just a little template
Mommy,
that I
I'm
made.
in the
Okay,
one we go from
you
9
don't need
o'clock
to
to
ask about sharing cameras and all that. And the reason why I
5
do
o'clock in the
this is
evening.
because there's an add-on that I actually use. I'm gonna share that add-on, which
One
is
hour
called
break in between.
Quillgo. I'm gonna share it in
Hello,
another share, so
Javier.
I'll stop the sharing and go over to
Guys,
Quillgo
if
because
you're
I
new,
didn't have it in this
subscribe. We're almost at
in this era,
7:20.
right? In this window.
Good morning,
So
3:25
pretty much,
a.m. here in South Africa.
once you
It's
add that add-on, you
8:27
have all of these
January
different
19
facilities you can
here
share.
in Jamaica right now.
They actually take
See you
your
tomorrow,
track
Shadow.
your
The
movements
bell
and whatever
is
to see if you're
on so that you're
cheating,
notified whenever I
if
go
you
live.
leave the form, all of that. We're gonna look at that and show you how that tool actually works. But this is just a little way to show you that you can actually use this to make to Google Forms to make a
Bye.
quiz. If you go to settings, there's
So
just
my guys, see
one
the
button
bags
there.
under my eye. I need to
One
get some
single,
sleep,
as they would say,
man.
take it button in
Where are
my
you from?
colloquial
Tell me. I'm
language.
from
Sorry,
Jamaica.
Pato Odigo. I used to speak a lot of that at one point. So actually, you just simply check this box and it will automatically convert the Google form into a quiz, right? There are other settings that you can look at. Like, for example, what do you want respondents to be able to see? Do you want them to see the missed questions, like after the test is over? Do you want them to see the
Hi.
correct answer? Because some people may not want them to see the correct answer, depending on, once again,
My
the
eyes are
purpose,
fucking
etc. of
red.
this. Do you want them to see the points value? And then you can set the default points value to 1, right? Depending on what you're doing, whether this is all multiple choice or whatever. You have the option as well. As you go through, you can look at whether you want to collect email addresses or
Hi.
not, and maybe how you go about that. So do not collect or verified or allow the respondents to enter their email or whatever. You have that option, right? Do you want to send them a copy of the responses? You have all of these options. Allow them to edit. Probably don't want to do that. All right. So do you want to limit to one response? It depends on what the test is all about. Do you want to give them multiple attempts? And by the way, guys, how even Google Forms works sometimes, if you have an issue, what happened with other tools like Class Marker, you can go back and get pick up from where you left off. But in Google Forms, there's an issue with that. So usually, I actually don't do the limit to one response. I just leave it there. That if they do have an issue, because it will not allow the same person to take the test twice. Like if there's an issue and they have to, get back into the platform. Like when I had an issue just now with Class Marker, it sent me out. I had to get back in there. What do you do? So it doesn't allow for that. But if you uncheck this, it will do that. Presentation now, like how you want it. Do you want a progress bar to show? Do you want to shuffle the questions? So it has a lot of different things, okay? Do you want to allow them to submit another response? This also works with whether
At this point,
you're allowing
but put
response or
your
not,
bags under
etc.
my eyes. Me need for
There's
the
so many different things. You have
get
different
some
restrictions
rest
about
today.
auto save. Do you want to disable that or whatever? It does do
I'm
some
so
of that,
sleepy.
but there are some issues that I remember my students mentioned in the past. Um, but it's a good tool you can use if you are there in class and you want students in that setting to be able to do the exam. You can just monitor them and go through that. Question the false are here. Form the false. You can, whether you want to collect email and all of that. Look at those. All right, but it's a very, very nice tool, and you can see responses there. You can even link to Google Sheet, etc. All right. You have the option also to preview to see how you go about this thing. It's not published, so it's giving me some challenges there. But you put in your email, you go to next, and you see. For me, what I did is I actually, let me just go through. I actually sectionalize it so that each question goes on a new section. That's how I did or I do my tests. All right. So yeah, I think it's better that way. Some people like to see everything, but you can choose how you do that, and you can publish it. When you click on publish, it makes available because they're doing it new now. Before, when I kind of started this, they didn't have this publish thing. It was automatically you share with the link, whatever. But now you have to publish it, then you also have to share it, the link. So that's the option to share the
Hi.
link. and you also have a copy respondents link here as well.
Have a
You
good
can
night.
add
You too, Lindsay.
collaborators and all of
Hope
that
you
if you
subscribe
want
before
to.
you
There's also another
leave
option if you want to do that.
so that I
And by
get
the way,
notified
guys, your
tomorrow when I'm
restriction
on again.
level is very important.
Okay?
You want to restrict as much as possible, okay? These are persons that you share with, that you want to collaborate, you add them as editors, whatever, but those are responding
Have
to
a good
the
night.
actual form, they're just respondents, okay? And there are other settings
You can't
here.
end yours, you
For
know,
example,
mommy?
this one, do you want to allow editors
No,
to
wait.
change permission? So if I give you
Barely
editor privilege,
awake.
you can actually change my permission. Anyways, there's a lot of good to say with privacy and security in terms of managing your Google these different tools like your Google Drive and different files you share within the Google Workspace. But another time. Let me just stop the share. I'm all the time. I'm sorry, guys. I'll show you what they look like, but I'll share these with you. Do I have them up now? I don't think so, no. There is, no, I don't have them up now. Yeah, I have them. Wait. Let me just show you what these look like. So there are um, two other tools that I wanted to share with you how they work. These are powerful tools. I know it all the time. If you have to go, no problem. But I need to just mention this. This is very important. Let me share this. No, let me share it another way. Let me share it this way. Okay,
I'm
so
really
guys,
not good enough.
one of the things I'm saying, this tool Kahoot is very good for gamification. So what I did is I created a little guide. So I'll share this with you in terms of getting started, how you can create a simple game, some of the options you have there, our quiz, etc. I walk you through the process as I was going through the process, just creating a new account and showing you different options and all of that that are there, and what you can do in the platform, how to achieve it, and all of that. So I'm gonna share this. This is a lot of stuff. So let me just walk through quickly. I'm gonna share this with you, and you can look at it in your own time. The other one, let me hide this. One is H5P. There's a lot of things you can do here, by the way. I should go over to the website and show you. But anyways, take a look at this guide because I'm gonna publish it on the Moodle. You can see, you'll see whatever is there. But here I show you how to get started, create your account. And one simple example I had there, just to show you how that works, using the interactive content option. There are many things you can do. There's so much. And by the way, this also integrates with Moodle, other elements, etc. So, sorry guys, you have to take a look at this. I'm just gonna say that, but I'll publish it for you right now. So, I actually did a little example here to show you how you can even embed. If you create like a website, so I did this. I create like a website, a Google Science website, and I embedded the H5P here, right? So you're seeing that that activity here now. I'll share with you in this little walkthrough. So guys, once again, thank you for joining us. I appreciate your presence all the time. But once again, I'll publish these content for you. There are lots of guides there on the websites themselves, so you can follow the guides and you can go through that. In addition to that, I would have also shared with you some embedded videos to guide you through like a puzzle, task marker, etc. Look at those in your own time. Get the practice activities done. You have some time. Go through them, okay? And that's it. Do enjoy. Appreciate your presence. And do
Class
enjoy.
is
I
over.
want to see you next class as well.
Hi,
Next class, let me
Sanchez.
just highlight what we're going to go through. Sorry, I know we're out of time, but I have to mention this. Next class, we'll be looking at AI tools. Talk
Mm?
about not just ChatGPT, Gemini. I'll be going through and
Mm?
demonstrating for you how some of these tools are used, what you can do with them, the possibilities for
19.
not just the teacher, but also on the student side,
Hi, Sanchez.
how they can use it responsibly and ethically in the classroom and other areas in life, personal life, and all that. So I hope you enjoy that session coming up on Wednesday. Take care, guys. Enjoy. Appreciate it. Blessings.
Thank you, sir. Have a good evening.
Thank you, sir. Good night.
Have a good night,
Recording
sir.
stopped.
Yes, I do read it. The meeting has ended. I'm gonna take a nap, a well needed nap, and then I'm gonna watch my movie assignment. Hope it's a chill one I can enjoy, when I don't fall asleep watching. But oh my gosh, that was a long class. I'm so tired. So, guys, thank you for keeping me company. I want to tell you guys good night. I stay in Jamaica. Violet, subscribe. Tomorrow when I'm back on live, 'cause I'll be live I'll be on live every day, God's willing. You guys we can finish talk. We know me need to take a nap urgently, urgently. So yeah, I've been on for like over 2 hours. Plus I had a long day at work. Now I'm here. Plus class. Plus this. Plus that. I need to nap. Anyways, I have to take a little nap and I'm doing my assignment. Subscribe so tomorrow when we come back on, you will keep me company while me on, okay? Turn on your bell as well so you can get notified to see when I'm going live. So thank you for being here. Yeah, shut down. Let us end with the Our Father prayer. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom come. Thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. Hi, Alexandria. We're ending the live. It's too bad we've been on for over almost 3 hours. So subscribe so that you can rejoin when we start the stream tomorrow. But yes, good night. Amen. I love you guys. God loves you more. We're over 700 subs. Yeah. Good night. Good night.